up, y'all? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Give me that thumbs up, Lamont. What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing out there? Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. I hope y'all are having a good Sunday. And how are you doing, Lamont? How you doing, my brother? How are you doing?
Man, oh my God, you got a $50 super chat already. So I'm doing good.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm doing good. Shout out to Sharronda Coleman.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Hold on. This is amazing. Right. This is amazing. Here we go.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, I'll tell you.
Sharronda Coleman, $50 super chat. I heard you. I heard you needed glasses. I do, and I got them right here. It took my eyes a little while to adjust. I picked them up. I think I picked these up on Friday or Saturday. I can't remember. But thank you very much. I may need to get the prescription changed again, but I am seeing much, much better. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I had a super chat before the live started with the Wakanda Forever. You know, he gave me one.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, I'll tell you.
And I don't see it right now, so I don't know what happened to it. But thank you so much. You know, I do appreciate that. But Lamont, thank you so much for being here, my brother. I really do appreciate it, man. I really do. How are you doing, man? How you doing?
Hanging tough, my brother. You know it ain't nothing here. Brothers gotta support the brothers. We gotta hold the family down, and
really?
That's what we do, man. And you do it in a fun, informative manner. So it's my pleasure to be here. Thankful to be here.
You're very welcome, man, and I appreciate it. I was coming down to the wire, trying to get everything prepared because I have so many topics. Hopefully we can get to them all. But I don't know if you saw the message in our little group chat on IG, man. I got my times mixed up. I thought my original plan was for the show to start at 7:30 because I thought the Snake Eyes trailer was gonna drop at 7 p.m. 30 minutes prior. Right. So I was gonna try to react to it, post it on YouTube real quick, and then we can talk about it again, like right now when we're on the show. But when 7 o'clock came, I kept hitting refresh on YouTube. So I'm like, where's the trailer? So I looked it up on IG, and it said it's coming out at 9 p.m. during the MTV Movie Awards. And so we may have to react to it the first time in the middle of the live. I can try to download it real quick, but the way my computer is set up, and we know we have a new one coming. Like if I try to share the video, it's going to be a delay. Like I will be able to catch it. The video will be synced with my audio, but for y'all, it will be a bit delayed. So I don't know. I may just have to download it real quick and just play it like I normally do when we can't show our faces. But I feel kind of bad because everybody out there, I put that was the main thing, on the title of this video and the thumbnail. So I don't know. Hopefully we can still work it out,
Yeah, man. You still get it. You just do it the way you just mentioned. Just download it in the background while we're talking about something else, upload it, and then when it's all ready to go, man, you shoot the button.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And yes, I did play a little different musical intro. I'm just trying some things different. And so I'm trying to appeal to everyone out there, the family. And so you guys let me know what you think. And let me just go ahead and shout out some people in the chat. SJ Evans, how you doing? Robert Reed, Ernest Holloway, Positively Addicted Phoebe, what's going on? Mary Sharice, how you doing? Lorevel and the League. It sounds like a superhero team. That's what's up.
Team
Nary
up.
is 20. You know what I'm saying? Nary is 21. B. Avery, how you doing? Tyrone Coleman, of course, I gotta say hello to you. You just dropped $50, so thank you so much. Zia Latrice in the building. How you doing, my sister? How are you doing? Who else we got? Saif Adebaran. What's going on, everybody? And I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. We got Akansai B again. Who else? Sunmine is in the building. Miss Melanated. Tia Bryan is out there. Hello, hello. And I mean, I just want to say hello to everybody because I couldn't do this channel. I couldn't do this show without you guys. So I got to show my love and respect. Where's the money reside? So I just played a card, bro. How you doing? D Weave in the building. DLHDBS and Nusko, Nusko. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. And Jaren 215 and also Brian Gosselin. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm already 63 people in.
Wow.
So that's what's up. That makes me very, very happy right there.
Yes,
and let me go ahead and let me bring in my second guest. It's the living legend Larry coming from the East Coast. How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Oh man, I am good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing good, man. We are doing good.
I'm feeling like a superstar, man. I'm in here with good company.
Already, man. I do appreciate it. You know, yeah. You guys are good company. But I mean, if I already asked this, my bad. But like, how's y'all's day been going, man? I know y'all got a lot on your plate. So how are things rocking out for you guys?
I mean, I'm good. I'm just, it's one of those days. I was a little tired when I got up because I've been trying to get my sleep patterns regular again, which I finally did. And then I had a Zoom call last night with my friends on the West Coast. So they're 3 hours behind. So I was up a little late and drank a few beers. And so, man, I was tired this morning. But I got up, you have to get up and do some work. Get up and do some work to get yourself going. So
I got you, man.
I'm all good.
I got you. I was a bit nervous, man. Like I'm actually I usually do my live in shorts, but I have on sweatpants now with my shoes on because we was having a tornado warning earlier.
What?
And yeah, there was raining cats, dogs, and everything. And so anytime we have a tornado warning, I get dressed and I put my wallet and my keys in my pocket, charge my phone. So if I gotta go hide in the bathtub, I got all my stuff because I don't want the roof to blow off and I'm in my underwear. Looking crazy. That would be horrible,
No, and they were trying to take pictures of you in your superhero underwear, my brother. They tried to get you.
Man. So I was
you
ready
guys you guys had floods, and then you had that big ice storm, and now you're having tornado warning. I think guys trying to tell Texas something.
Yeah, man.
They need to get their act together.
They really do. They really do. And we'll get started here in a bit. I just like to let the room fill up just a bit. But
I want to know where Lamont's overlord is.
She's playing around waiting for daddy to come give her a bath. That's why I told BA I wouldn't be up here long because she gonna get that bath, she gonna get her hair done, then she's going to bed.
I got you, man.
She wore her brother out this weekend. That's all I can say, man. She wore her brother out.
I can hear it in your voice, man. I can hear it in your voice. And again, so I don't want to keep you. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. If you guys like. And
you got $50 super chat.
Yeah, man.
Gracious.
I know. It's
the love, my brother. The love.
Yeah. So again, guys, if you're out there in the chat or watch this on the replay, this is Lamont, this is Larry, and I am B. Avery. If you love what we're saying, you can follow us on social media. Our handles up on the screen. There's also a link to everyone's respective YouTube channels down in the description box. And like always, you can always head over to my channel tab, and then you have the family right there. And of course, I've just added a couple of more people that I've been knowing for some time. So if they're on this list right here, you need to go ahead and subscribe to their channel so you can win. Because if you're not subscribed, you're losing, and I don't want you to lose. I want you to win. And so with that being said, guys, we can go ahead and get started. And
can I say one thing?
Oh, you sure can, sir. You sure can.
In honor of Tyrone Coleman's $50 super chat, can we get 50 thumbs up?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes.
If we get those thumbs up cracking right now, it pushes it out into the algorithm, and then more people find the show and can watch the whole show and support more B. Avery stuff. And that is exactly what we want.
Yes, yes.
And now
yes,
I got something good to say. It looks like Larry is wearing a Miami Dolphin t-shirt.
No.
Is that not a Miami Dolphins helmet I see on that t-shirt?
No, that is a Buffalo Bills shirt.
Oh, damn. He wearing the juice.
That's the juice is loose.
Oh my God. we knew you was one of them Negroes, lad. We knew it from jump. You was one of them OJ Negroes. As a Miami Dolphin fan, I'm completely disrespected you wearing the juice on this station. You know why I'm wearing this hat. B. Avery should kick your ass off right now wearing the juice.
I ain't mad at him, man. But you know, I know you on the time. I know you on the time crunch, man. And so, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, I want to welcome you to my Movie News Roundup show on my Just My Opinion Reviews channel. This is show number 16. And you know that number is climbing higher and higher and higher. And again, we have a number of topics. If you want to know what we're talking about, you can find all of the topics down in the description box below if you want to read those respective articles. And so let's go ahead and get started right here. Like I said, with the Movie News Roundup show, I'm so excited to talk about all these things. We got Michael Jai White launching the studio. Maybe we'll get a Snake Eyes trailer. We got some He-Man, Masters of the Universe. You know, we got some Disney Plus that we're going to be talking about, more Marvel news. I mean, it's really going down with all of the topics. And like I said, I'm super duper excited about it. So let me go ahead and move on to topic number one. And topic number one, I think you guys talked about this on your show last week. And it looks like we're going to be having a dope ass show on Netflix coming this summer by Kevin Smith. And everything looks good. We got some first look images right here from the show itself. And I mean, even though this show came out before I was born, you know, I'm still super duper excited about it. And I have the report right here from the Hollywood Reporter. It says first look at Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe reboot for Netflix. But before I get any further, let me just have a little nostalgia time real quick and play something that may refresh all of your memories. Here you go. Well, there you go right there, guys. There you go right there. There you go. There you go. And there he goes again. You know, he's really affected by this, and I don't blame him. You know, it looks dang good. It looks darn good, you know. And like I said, man, this is, if you want to read the full report, you can. The description, the link to the article is down in the description box. And it says right here, He-Man and Skeletor are back. Netflix unveils several photos from its reboot of the Masters of the Universe animated series from showrunner Kevin Smith. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull up this first quote right here from Kevin Smith talking about the show. And it says, here's the official description. The War of Eternia culminates in the Master of Universe Revelation, an innovative and action-packed animated series that picks up where the iconic characters left off decades ago. After a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor, Eternia is fractured and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. And after decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Tella to reunite the broken hand of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing sword of power in a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. And like I said, Lamont, I know you're a super duper professional when it comes to this He-Man and Masters of the Universe. So how are you feeling about this news? Also reading the article, all these pictures that they got popping up right here. How are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about this?
Before I go, the dub.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You gotta give some love to the dub first. Then we can go to what I gotta say.
Wait, when the dub throws it, when the dub does that, we have to get the dub C.
Dub.
Here you go. The dub C.
Dub drop.
Throw it up the dub.
The dub came through with the C.
$100. Thank you for doing the show. Please keep it up. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it, man. My goodness gracious. Shoot, man. You gonna make me cuss. And shout out Strictly Starlight as well. Now, thank you, W. I really do appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. My goodness gracious. But man, I'm shook, man. I'm shook. But Lamont, my brother, How are you feeling about this news, and how are you feeling about these first images of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe that's going to be debuting on Netflix this summer in July?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your aficionado on the Masters of the Universe, born in 1980 myself, watching this thing since 1982, is your I'm the living legend. Larry's living legend. The life gains himself, Lamont Tyson. This looks perfect.
Yes.
And first of all, shout out to Miami gang, who is one comment down below the Dub C gang. Miami Dolphins in the building. I will be at a couple of home games this year, so get ready. Back to the Masters of the Universe. B. Avery, there's something that they do that's similar to E3 called PowerCon. And when they said Kevin Smith was going to be doing the new series, I was totally faithful because he shows up at PowerCon, which is a grand Masters of the Universe Comic-Con type event. It's just for the He-Man lore. And I already knew he was going to do well. But looking at these photos, he stuck to the original content. This right here is Moss Man, and he looks menacing as hell. Just think of Moss Man, very, very similar to the same character that they have in the DC universe. Only this one particular here, he can cause tornadoes and he can cause weather events, whereas the DCEU version can't do that. But I digress. I'm very excited. The only thing in the caption you read that gives me a little bit of a pause is when they said Teela is going to be leaving the assault to save Eternia, and that they're trying to do something with the sword of Grayskull, the power sword of Grayskull. So I'm worried because I don't want this to be a 12-part series where we don't get to see He-Man, because there is no He-Man until that power sword is lifted up. And he says, by the power of Grayskull. So I don't want this to be some fact-finding mission where we're looking for that power sword for 6 episodes before we get He-Man. Now, I don't think Kevin Smith will go out like a sucker, because at those PowerCon events, he is the most excited fan and displayer there. But having said all those things, B. Avery, he has taken He-Man. He's given the original look justice. He's given Skeletor, Teela, Man-at-Arms, Evil Lyn, Sorceress. They all look great, and I can't wait. Even my boy, the Battle Cat, looks menacing as hell. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Already. I love the enthusiasm, my brother. Larry, how you feeling about all this?
Well, first of all, shout out to Kevin Smith. I see he looks all nice and fit, like he lost weight, man. I'm glad. That means we may get to keep him around with us for a couple more decades so he can put out some more great content. So
right on.
Shout outs on that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. I think it would be extra funny and kind of cool if they made He-Man black or Hispanic or something,
Larry, don't get kicked off the show. I said that on my show, and it was some people cussing me out, Larry. I don't want you to get cussed out.
I'm good for taking some curse outs. Let them bring it. Let them bring it. It's like all that is. That's like my fuel. Bring it on. I just absorb it and spit it right back at them tenfold. So, I'm looking forward to it. I watched He-Man as a kid growing up as well, and I enjoy it. I'm hoping that we'll see another one shortly thereafter with She-Ra, because I feel like if you bring out He-Man, you have to bring She-Ra not long after. So I mean, it seems like it's gonna be dope. I'm glad that they're doing an animated version on Netflix, so we don't have to worry about casting and waiting for 5 years to get the actual movie out. I'm glad they're doing this as an animated series, so we can hopefully get season after season after season, just in the years to come, and we don't have to wait a long time.
Right on. Let me grab this real quick. Carl, bro, $10 super chat. I like the community you gentlemen are building. I always look forward to your consistent content. Thank you so much, I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Shout out to the Canuck.
Yes,
he's up there in Canada.
Oh wow!
Right.
Okay. Now
you're international now, man. You have Carbro. She's up there in Canada. You have Strictly Starlight. That's across the pond in England.
In Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, all you need is some Irish people, and you really breaking grounds, damn brother.
Right
You know,
on,
we need
right
to find a
on.
couple African folks. I'm sure there's somebody in here from Ghana or somewhere.
And one of the things that gets me excited is, we're going to have Mark Hamill. I think he's going to be voicing the role of Skeletor. And so I think that's
Nice.
pretty cool right there. He's going to be voicing this character. And so that's pretty cool. Why do I hear an echo? What is going on with the, can y'all hear that echo?
A little
I
bit.
know, but I don't have headphones on. You think it's me?
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I may just have to holler at you afterwards to get this fixed. Or whatever, but I'm really excited about that. I only know one person that has seen this already, and they told me that it is very good, that they loved it. And so yeah, I think that was you, because I don't hear it anymore or whatever. So that's pretty cool right there. And so I think we're all super duper excited, even though this came out in '83 and I was born in '84. I'm still excited about this, and it does look promising. It does look promising. And so let me go ahead and move on to topic number 2. And I know you gentlemen talked about this on your show either last Wednesday or last Friday. I can't remember. But, we have some more Disney Plus news. And I don't know, it seems like expectations may have fallen short a little bit, but we're just going to have to see with their subscriber count. But I honestly don't think it's anything to worry about to get your feathers ruffled up. But I have the report right here from the Hollywood Reporter again, and it says that Disney Plus misses expectations with 103.6 million subscribers. And it says the company is poised to see more growth in its legacy businesses as it returns to theaters in a significant way, with Black Widow and Jungle Cruise in July, and with the U.S. theme park set to finally reopen, albeit not at full capacity over the summer. And while the fallout from the pandemic leads to tough comparisons with a year ago, the Walt Disney Company delivered mixed results in its earnings Thursday, delivering a revenue of $15.6 billion and an adjusted earnings per share of 79%. Wall Street consensus had been for $15.93 billion in revenue and adjusted EPS of 27 cents. Much of the company's growth continues to come from the streaming service Disney Plus, which now has 103.6 million subscribers. The company says that is below Wall Street consensus of 110 million subscribers. And just real quick, I'm just going to say this real fast. Like, I'm not worried about this at all. And the title of this article is a bit misleading. And again, guys, if you're watching this on the live or the replay, you can have the full article is down in the description box. But it's misleading because we all know that Disney is much more than Disney Plus. I mean, they have their theme parks. They have a ton of things that are just
the
closed
travel
right
services,
now.
their cruise line, the private island.
Right. All that is closed. So, things are just not going to be what they were last year, the year before. But I'm coming to you, Larry. How are you feeling about this? I know y'all talked about it last week, but go ahead and give us your expertise, sir.
Yeah, I honestly think that them missing expectations is probably a result of them not releasing a feature film or two directly to their streaming platform. I know that we've talked about them, closing that window down a little bit narrower than it is for the theatrical releases. But I think that if they had released another feature or two, because when you look at the previous quarters, when you look at when they released Soul and Mulan, their numbers were up. So I think people want the Marvel series in WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they also want those features. And I think they would have done well if they would have gone ahead and released Jungle Cruise on the streaming service. And I think what they should have done is released it. They could have probably have released it and charged people for it, but I think they would have done better if they released it and didn't charge people for it, just as an enticement to get people to sign up. Because the thing is that you'll have older people like our age that are that are willing to go to the theaters after when Black Widow comes out. But a lot of people aren't going to go and send their kids necessarily to the theaters just yet. And a lot of parents are thinking, well, you know what? I would rather pay maybe $20 or $30 to let all 4 of my kids watch the Jungle Cruise at home in the comfort of our house, where they can eat snacks and we can hit pause so somebody can go to the bathroom. And you only pay that, you pay $30 or $20 or whatever they may charge, so that maybe you know, 2, 3, 4 kids can see it, plus the whole family. Whereas if you take a family of 5 to the movie theater, you're talking about $100.
Right.
So I think you're more inclined to get money and people willing to sign up and pay that extra fee if you're going to charge it, if you have a kids movie like The Jungle Cruise versus something like Black Widow. So I think they should have done that, and they probably would have seen those subscriber numbers a little bit higher.
Right on. And let me just bring up this quote real quick before I come to you, Lamont. This is from Bob Chapek, the new CEO. We're pleased to see more encouraging signs of recovery across our businesses, and we remain focused on ramping up our operations while also fueling long-term growth for the company, said Chapek in a statement. This is clearly reflected in the reopening of our theme parks and resorts, increased production at our studios, the continued success of our streaming services, and the expansion of our unrivaled portfolio of multi-year sports rights deals for ESPN and ESPN Plus. Lamont, how are you feeling about all this, sir?
You hit it on the head when you talked about the question that they asked, or the clickbait of the thesis of the whole entire article. Mm-hmm. Because no, they didn't get to that 110 subscriber expectation, but no one is sitting here saying that that's going to ruin Marvel. I mean, I'm Disney, excuse me. No one is saying that's going to ruin Disney Plus. No. If you think about the growth they had just from last year, that they wasn't projecting to grow until 2 years from now, you still living on that success. And so having said that, the stock went down as well. And me and Larry was busy telling people, as that stock gets below 180, scoop up as many shares as you can get, because the Disney Plus is really only about 15% of their total revenue. People think about that. Yeah. You've got 103 million people paying at the very least $6.99. Some people paying more. And that is only about 15% of your revenue. As Larry said, Disney is a complete diversified company. And they have ESPN, Hulu. They've got Disney Plus. But their number one revenue generator is the theme parks, and they're closed. Right. And they were still fairly profitable in the last year. So the article itself was pure clickbait, with just dropping that Disney Plus didn't make their numbers, because that's just like saying if you have a huge cup of tea and you want to get cold, I'm going to initially put in a chunk of ice in there before I put the whole entire ice pack in there. It's silly. You give the context of what's really going on here. And the context is that this is a legacy company. It's one of the most profitable entities on all the planet. And just highlighting that Disney Plus was short 7 million subscribers does nothing but cause clickbait, and people don't even sweat it. The only thing I will say is this. They are getting ready to come out, and I was in the investor meeting because me and Larry hold a lot of shares of Disney. They are getting ready to come out with some kind of a something. They're not saying if it's a theme park, if it's a hotel, whatever it is. They're getting ready to put something in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas. And guess who's going to go out there for the next investor meeting in September? Your boy. And I got a film. I'm a documentary specialist on YouTube because I need to know what the hell is going on. So they're going to be doing that, and they're talking about making new and improved rides that are going to be more and more Star Wars and Marvel movie based. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. Still get Disney Plus. It's a great product, and buy the damn stock.
Right on. Buy the darn stock. Well, I'm sorry. That comment was funny to me. But right on, man. Good points from both of you guys. You guys hit it right on the head. But let's go. Go ahead.
There's one other thing that I think that Disney could do if they're worried about their subscribers numbers. They could simply say, okay, we're going to go ahead and, like, they have their bundle with Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu, right? And I think that bundle is what, like $15.99 a month or something like that, $16.99. They can simply come out with a promotion that says we're going to charge $9.99 a month for the Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu, but you have to pay the whole year up front. So now you're talking about a $120 subscriber fee. So everybody gets their stuff at a discount. But now Disney can say we have all these subscribers that we know are locked in for the entire year. So I bet you that if they ran a promotion like that, they can get those whatever the subscriber numbers they think they're short. I'm sure they can get all of those with a promotion like that runs for maybe 2 months, 3 months, and then cut it off, and that's that. You know,
they ain't even worried about them numbers, Larry, because like I said, their projections their projection last year at the start of 2020 didn't even have them at 100 million by this point now. They was looking at trying to compete with Netflix by 2025 and have 200 million, and you're well on that trajectory with just having 103 now. Ain't nothing, ain't no smoke, nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen, nothing to see. Just inhale all the smoke that they trying to blow up your ass and just hold it. Ain't nothing to see. Now, Zia made a good point. Zia Latrice, I let you down. You know what I did. I owe you one. Hit me in the comments so I can send you something to say thank you. She said she don't see Disney in Vegas. My question to Zia is why not? Because Vegas, it seems like it's all adult-based themes, but lots of people take their kids there because there is a ton of little off Vegas strip things that you can take the kids to. They've got the Stratosphere. They've got this little ride event. A lot of this stuff they've got off strip. And they could be turning something like a new Disney hotel into some kind of Wakanda land or something to that effect, where it's going to be for, the kiddies, and parents can also have some entertainment there too. So don't be surprised.
Yeah, I could see them having something in Disney in Vegas very easily. I mean, they've always Vegas for one has always had kids stuff. I mean, you've had Circus Hotel from way back in the day. You have what is it, Lexor, which has some kid based stuff. They have the other one,
the New York is there.
Right, and you already mentioned Stratosphere, which I think has a roller coaster on there. Then there's a number of different hotels actually on the Strip that have kids, sort of a kid-based theme to it. And there's a number of other properties that are off Strip that have, that have kid-based things. And some of those things are very cool because as an adult, you can send your kids over to basically like a day camp, where you could say, okay, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to go to the pool and go hang out and have drinks with my friends. And we're going to party it up at the, in the daytime. And you can send your kids over to basically a day camp. That's going to take them to do all kinds of stuff. They're going to swim. They're going to go on jungle gyms. They may ride, go-karts. There's so much stuff that they have kids doing because they're trying to get their parents as far away from their money as they possibly can. And they're not going to do that if you're worried about your kid having a tantrum and they're bored. So they're going to make sure they're having all kinds of fun.
And mind you, I've seen some of those nannies that you leave your kids with, and women just put a blindfold on your husband. Them be some hot ass nannies. I ain't gonna front. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Blindfold the brothers, because they see them, they gonna want you to go shopping by yourself. They'll keep them away.
Well, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the third topic of the day. And I'm super duper excited about it because I was a big fan of the show. Looks like we're going to be having a new show on the way with the game. What? I was so disappointed earlier when it was canceled because it was so good. And I get super duper excited, when we have new Black shows coming, especially some that I'm really familiar with. And so this is like just really, really, really good news to me. And so I have the report right here from Essence and also Deadline. It says Paramount announces the game reboot with the original cast. And also here on Deadline, it says the game Paramount Plus hands dramedy reboot official series order Wendy Raquel Robinson and Jose Sanchez to reprise their role. But going back over to Essence, it says time to turn the game on. And we don't mean Sunday football. Paramount Plus has given a 10-episode series order for the reboot of the CW and BT series The Game. The series originally created by Myra Brock Akil, creator of BET's Being Mary Jane, and UPN's Girlfriends, will be reimagined with the original cast member Wendy Raquel Robertson and Jose Sanchez returning to their roles as Tasha Mack and Malik Wright. And of course, the original article came from Deadline. And Lamont, I'm going to come to you first, but before I do, let me just go ahead and read this quote right here first from the creator. 15 years ago, I created the game, and I am so proud of the success we had, and that I was able to create the characters and stories that resonated with so many people, said Brock Akil, as reported by Deadline. I couldn't be happier about leaving my beloved characters like Tasha Mack and Malik Wright in the hands of Devin, Wendy, and Jose, who I know will build off the rich foundation this show has. My brother, were you a fan of the show when it originally first came out, and how are you feeling about them rebooting this for a 10-episode series?
I was a big fan of the show because of the diversity it brought, the storylines it brought. You had tropes in this thing. You had good tropes, bad tropes, good stereotypes, bad stereotypes. You had comedy, and you had real life fun. However, it seems like after about 3 or 4 seasons, when they started bringing in all these new people, they got rid of, I don't know the Anglo-Saxon lady's name that was married to Jason, but when she left, the show started going down for me. Her right there in the red dress.
Right.
When she left and they started bringing in, what was her name? Chardonnay, and that was Brandy's character. And when they brought in Chardonnay and shit, it started going to shit. I just can't lie, man. So, yes, I want it back. It was a groundbreaking show. It was great. But I wanted back the original way it was, and not when they started branching off into the other seasons. It lost the essence. It lost the magic that it used to have. And I wasn't quite as interested in it as I was on the first 3 or 4 seasons. So if they can bring back the essence and the magic of the first 3 or 4 seasons, then B. Avery, by all means, bring it back. I'm for it.
Right on, Larry.
This is disappointing.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
This is disappointing. And I'll tell you why. We think about it like this is potentially a good thing. It's not. You know what this really tells me is that here we are in 2021. This has been a very successful show, and none of these actors apparently can find jobs. I mean, there's no way in hell that you have a show that's this successful that these actors should not be working. Could you imagine them trying to do a reboot of The Office and all the actors are available to do a TV show? I mean, that's just
first
crazy.
of all, I think these are the only 2, based on what B. Avery read to us, these are the only 2 that are going to be part of it, of this show. The rest of the people I've seen, everybody else besides these 2, I've seen in something else, Larry. I haven't seen these 2 in anything.
And that's part of the problem. They were the 2 main characters. I mean, those were 2 of the main characters. I mean, it's to me, I think of this as a problem. I think to myself, like, these men and women should be working. They should be so busy and so successful following this show that they don't have the opportunity to do it, even if they wanted to. But instead, really, what they're saying is that this is a second reboot and the 3rd iteration of this show. And that's utterly ridiculous. I cannot imagine that this would have happened if you had The Office, or if you tried to do that with what was that show with
Parks and Rec,
Saint Elsewhere, The Office, Friends, that other West Wing. I can't imagine any of these shows that have been very, very popular that had white actors in there. I can't imagine that all of those people wouldn't be so busy that they would be able to just pick up and come back and do a reboot of an old show that they started doing 15 years ago. No, this isn't a good thing. I mean, it's good for the actors that they're going to get some work, but it's not a good thing.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, double.
Oh, my God.
Oh, whoa.
Man.
What is going on? What is going on? Hold on.
I'm loving this. Oh, man.
Papa Avery coming through. What's good, sir? 99.99. Thanks for gracing us with your awesome guests each week. Larry, I feel like Lamont, Life Games, Eman, Elliot, and others. Dad, thank you so much, man. I do appreciate it. Thank
You
you,
know?
thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
That's
The
what I'm
Avery's
talking
got to
about,
look
man.
out. The Avery's got to look out for the Averys, my
Yeah,
brother.
You know?
yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Make sure you spend that. Make sure you spend that. You know that Papa Avery money on a new computer. Don't go to the strip club with it.
Oh no,
You know?
no, the strip club was last night. No,
You
I'm
got
joking.
to.
I'm teasing.
Now
I'm
we hear
teasing.
the truth.
I'm
I
teasing.
bet those Clark Kent glasses weren't on last night, was they?
You know?
he took them bitches off. Was like, whoa, I don't need no
You're
glasses.
stupid.
I see it real good.
And you don't even know the strippers are pretty ugly because they all
Oh,
have face
man.
masks on.
Man.
Oh
man,
damn! He
man.
said it must be your ass because it ain't your
Ain't your
face.
Nah, Dad, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Y'all are crazy, man. I love it. Y'all, I'm trying to do so much right now. No, thank you. I do appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
man.
Dad. Thank
Congrats,
you.
man. We
You know,
really
big up.
appreciate it when y'all send these great creators super chats, because what y'all don't know what it does for them. It helps them free up their time to not only grace y'all with great content, it allows them to network with other great YouTubers to bring you guys constant content and someone else you can relate to besides themselves and their channel. So you really, really help these YouTubers when you like their videos, share their content, and send them super chats. It is the ultimate homage you can do, and B. Avery is lighting it up tonight.
Yes, thank you.
It also means that B. Avery can stop eating top ramen and he can go get himself a decent meal.
Right on,
Hey, man. Hey, Larry, them bodybuilders be getting ripped in jail eating top ramen.
They surely do.
Or at least that's what Kylie Muscle lied and told everybody they do. But
Man,
I mean,
you know what's funny? There's this dude. Another little off topic. I'll get back to the show. There's this dude. He's actually from Virginia, but he's a white dude that was in jail, and he has a channel about what to expect and all these different stories about being in jail. But one of his most popular subjects and some of his biggest videos are on prison cuisine. So he'll go out and he'll buy the foods that you can get from the commissary in jail, and he'll make some of the meals that people made when they were in prison. And people love watching those videos. They're crazy. I have to look up the dude's channel name again and tell you, but it's a very interesting channel to say the least.
Right on. What I was I'll touch on that later. But back to the game. Y'all have kind of changed my position on this, because I mean, I hear what you're saying, very valid points. Because I love the show, but like Lamont was saying initially, when I got to that third or fourth season, man, it was somebody. It was one of the characters that got jumped outside of a building in a parking lot, and then he was in the hospital. Around that time, that's when the show just nosedived into crap. I mean, it was so. I'm like, what happened? It just, I just had to turn it off. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Me neither.
And so
they got rid of Med School. You remember that? They got rid of her. Derwin Davis I was like, what? Who is this? Is not the game.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that it turned, the crap hit the fan as far as that show is concerned. So initially when I heard this report, I was happy. And of course I want to see Black people get work and stuff like that. But I was kind of saying to myself, if it's the same characters, y'all are rebooting, like what story y'all gonna tell? I think somebody put that in the chat too. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I was enthused about it, but y'all are kind of changing my mind. SJ Evans asking why they renewing the show, talking about Laura London, and that Mara Sharice is asking, what story do they tell? So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. I'm gonna give them faith, and I'm gonna have faith, and we're just gonna have to see. What a Starlight saying, Jaren, they were there together for years and married someone else.
There's one thing about the game that I really liked, and I hope they continue it if he's still doing his thing, is that the character Malik, when he would, because we all know in the show he was a straight up just I guess he was sort of a ladies man. I don't want to call him a lady man. I was really going to call him a man whore, because dude was just all about him getting his. But on the show, he used to have, when the girls would come over, and he generally had the girls come over to his spot, he would have them sign a release saying that they were going to have consensual sex. He videotaped it, and then when they would leave the next day, he gave them gift bags and got them cars and sent them on their way properly.
I remember that.
And I remember thinking to myself, this is what all professional athletes and actors should do. Because then you don't have these women that are jilted and angry. You don't have people like Tiger Woods was not even paying somebody to get a sandwich. And then they want to figure, okay, you want to be like that? I'm going to go take my story to the tabloids or something and blow up your whole career and your marriage and cost you a couple $100 million in a divorce settlement. Dude was just like, not that he was married in this show because he wasn't, but you know, he did things the right way. So there was never any question about whether what was happening was consensual or not. There was never any of this, oh, he raped me, or I didn't want to do this, or he got me drunk, or any. It was like, no, you signed a release. It's on camera. The release states that I can use the footage if need be to protect myself. And on top of that, he treated the women very well. He treated them well. He gave them a parting gift. He made sure they had a ride to wherever they were going next. It was never any of this dissing women and being overly, you know, being disrespectful in that sense. And I just think that I loved the way that they showed that in the program, because I think that's something that really should be replicated in real life.
Let me grab the super chat real quick.
Oh, that's our
money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay.
Buzz 703 for the
703.
703 never got into the
703.
game. Hey y'all, thank you so much, Buzz. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat, my brother. Thank you. But let's go ahead, guys, and move on to the fourth topic of the day. And I'm really, really excited about this because I do support this brother. I said big moves, baby. Big moves are coming from this dude right here, and he definitely does deserve it.
Brandon,
I mean, what's that?
I'm sorry, I do have to say, I'm gonna watch the game though.
Okay. Cool.
No, you're not. If the game turns out to be game season 3 and beyond, he's not going to watch it but for 10 minutes. But if it turns out to be what me and Brandon like, he'll watch it a long time. But if it's not that, Avery, ain't none of us watching that shit. I can tell you that right now.
I'm sorry, go on, man. Go on.
We're moving on to topic number 4. Like I was saying, big moves, baby, for my boy Michael Jai White. He is doing big things in Hollywood, and I'm really proud of him. And I have the report right here from Variety. It says Michael Jai White to launch gigantic studios in Connecticut. You get it, gigantic, like it's gigantic, big, and his name is Jai or middle name.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And so again, guys, if you're watching this on the live stream or the replay, there's a link to this respective article down in the description box if you want to read along. And it says Michael Jai White, whose work as an actor, director, and writer includes Arrow, The Dark Knight, Spawn, and Mortal Kombat Legacy, announced the launch of Gigantic Studios, which will be Connecticut's first mini major studio. White has long wanted to return to his home state to expand the industry with a studio that will provide jobs, professional training, and apprenticeship for the local community. Gigantic will open Studio 1 in July, which will be operational during construction of the purpose-built studios in New Haven, Connecticut. It will be used for a gigantic studio slate of productions that span film, television, and other commercial projects. And so, like I was saying, guys, I'm really excited about this. I want this brother to succeed. I mean, he is a B-list actor. He is not A, but I don't care. You know, I'm still very entertained, when he pops up on screen. And so I'm in full support of this. This is a lovely photo of him and his wife, them working together. And I love it, man. I love it. So, Larry, I'm coming to you first, my brother. How are you feeling about this Michael Jai White launching Gigantic Studios?
I'll be honest with you, man. My first thought was, really? Like, I didn't know he had it like that. I mean, I'm happy for him. I didn't realize dude had it like that to start his own studio like that. But I think that it is. I think it's a genius move, and the location of it is perfect because there are so many productions that happen in New York, and there's so many actors that live in New York. And New York is an expensive town. And New York, a lot like Los Angeles, they have so much production that happens there. They don't need to give all the film credits, the tax credits and all that stuff to production companies and studios to lure them in because they're already there. So I'm assuming that Connecticut's going to offer some of that. And also, I think just moving the productions out of the city, but not so far away that it becomes one of those things where you have to leave your family for months on end. I think it's perfect. There were people that are, you have actors maybe that are from New York. You have New York productions that can go up there, film in Connecticut, and drive back home for dinner at night. Or maybe at the most they drive up and they spend, maybe they spend a couple days up there shooting, and then they drive back home. And it's not a burden where they have to fly to Greece for 3 months of filming, or they need to fly to Ireland or Australia for 3 months of filming. I think it's close enough that they're going to get a lot of work, coming through that studio. I'm just wholly shocked. I didn't realize dude had it like that, because like you said, he's sort of a B-list actor, but maybe some of these people do big things behind the scenes that we don't always know about.
Right on. And before I come to you, Lamont, let me just read this real quick. Wright's primary focus will be to produce original projects, including action drama Crossroads Cafe and the sequel to 2009's action comedy Black Dynamite. Hell yeah, which he co-wrote and starred in. Written and directed by White, both are slated for production this year. The Outlaw Johnny Black, currently in post-production, is set to be the first production completed under Gigantic Studios. It is scheduled to premiere on Thanksgiving of this year. And so again, the full article is down below. Lamont,
you know what I want to see from him, Brandon? You know what I want to see? A project I want to see coming out of that studio? I want to see a live action version of Afro Samurai. That would be dope.
Cool. That would be cool. That would be cool. Lamont, how you feeling about this?
I'm 100% all about it. Tyler Perry ain't the only brother that can have a damn studio.
Right.
And here's what a lot of people don't realize. Yes, he is more of a C-level actor, but what a lot of people don't know is the brother follows something I follow, which is professional bodybuilding. And in those realms, you have a lot of wealthy investors who would like to see bodybuilders get into acting, but there's really no place for them. So they like people like Michael Jai because he kind of has somewhat of a physique that can get acting done, but not maybe mainstream. You always kind of have to be typecast as somebody who's fighting, somebody who's, a superhero, those type things. But what I do know is this, from his connections in the bodybuilding world, which might have helped supersede where you guys think that Larry's think he might not have the financial output to reach. He's got a great wealth of network from the bodybuilding world, which includes Vince McMahon, who is located in Connecticut. They have a great relationship. He has a great relationship with the promoters of the Mr. Olympia bodybuilding promotion. And that's the biggest bodybuilding promotion in all the world. And I know those guys have been trying to link up to get something done with movies. But the key here is how much partnering did he do with anyone to the point where it could possibly wash out his say and what goes on into these movies. I doubt he's done that, but I know he's talked with Vince McMahon about hooking up before. And so I just am happy to see we get more studios led by brothers, and hopefully they will fulfill the vision that some of all of us want of good, solid, lead black characters doing these movies, and these movies will be hits. I'm all about it. I'm happy for him. And I want to see him in something else too. I do.
Yeah. It is important. It's important, like you said, Lamont, to have another option out there for a black studio besides Tyler Perry. Because, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Tyler Perry's hustle. I'm not a fan of his work. I don't like the characters that he puts out on, like the portrayal of black people that he does. But some people like him. There are a lot of black folks out there that like that Tyler Perry-esque style thing. And I think having someone like Michael J. Will make it so that we get something else. We'll get, in a lot of ways, I think we're going to get a polar opposite of what Tyler Perry offers. And so I think that's going to be a good thing for all of us. We're going to see better representations of black men, I think, first of all, which I think is just a good thing, not just for us black people, but for the country as a whole, that needs to be seen.
Right. And also I feel like, he hasn't been getting the kind of roles he's wanted. And from what I understand of him, he's not one who just blows all his money. So I guess he was like, you know what? I don't want to get away from acting. And if you're not going to give me the roles I want, let me put myself in position where not only can I create my own roles, but I can give roles to other people. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah. I agree with all that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit the nail on the head right there. So,
and Connecticut's a liberal state. You don't have to worry about any craziness like Georgia does. You don't have to worry about productions moving up out of the state because they're doing stupid voter voter suppression laws and abortion laws and all kinds of craziness that they do. You don't have to worry about productions leaving because of that type of stuff, because Connecticut's a pretty liberal state.
Right on.
But you got to worry about taxes. Well,
let's go ahead and move on to topic number 5. And I know we talked about this a couple of times before with how much Netflix was spending on the money, but looks like we have a super duper cast with Netflix and Knives Out. And I'm liking it so far. I mean, you know, they spent the money on it, and so I mean, you know, hey, they you know, with all that money, they should be getting a nice stellar cast, you know, as they are right now. And I have the report right here from Deadline. And let me hold on. What am I doing? Wrong button. I have the report right here from Deadline. It says Knives Out 2, Kathryn Hahn's latest addition to the All-Star cast. Oh, I'm tripping. My fault, y'all. Knives Out 2, Kathryn Hahn's latest addition to the All-Star cast and sequel to Return to Rian Johnson hit murder mystery. And so we know Kathryn Hahn right here from Agatha in the latest Marvel Disney Plus show, WandaVision. But not only are they adding her, they also have, you know, they having Kathryn Hahn right here. They also having Edward Norton.
Yes.
Dave Bautista.
Yes.
And this lovely, beautiful sister right here, Janelle Monáe.
And she is both.
She is wonderful. And so I'm coming to you now, Lamont. How are you feeling about this cast lineup after they spent $450 million for Knives Out 2 and 3? How you feeling?
I love when we do a subject and me and Larry prove y'all right. We told y'all that all that damn money that they were spending was not just going to go to Daniel Craig and Homeboy. We told y'all. And we also said that it better be damn good.
Well, I got a rebuttal to that, but keep going.
It better be damn good. Avery, with all the money that they gave for that franchise and them seeming as though they're going all out to make it good, I still don't see how we're going to get like more than 3-4 movies out of this, when one of the points we made was we need to see a series of movies. It can't just be like 2 movies. It's got to be a series of movies. Now, do we think that all these guys is getting A-list money? Probably not. But they ain't doing it for free. I can tell you that. And when I see all these people put together, it's not like the 1990s where when you would see an all-star cast of people, you would be worried that the movie was going to suck. It's not like that nowadays. Nowadays, they are putting together 10 great actors and the movie to be star-studded. The script is great. Everything is great. And so I'm starting to feel better, B. Avery. I can't front. At first, I was negative on it. I'm warming up.
I got you. I just want to say real quick now, you were saying that all the money is not going to go to Rian Johnson and Daniel Craig. However, I think they're still going to get $100 million each. So I don't know if that's on top of the $450 million. And then, you know, does that 450 include these actors' salary as well? I don't know, but I'm happy with the casting, but I just still think they're spending too much damn money on all this. But you know, that's just me.
Hey, we all agreed on that. What the hell are you going to do with all this money?
Yeah,
I mean, like, you're going to have to make like 10 movies or something.
Real. Yeah. Larry, how you feeling, man?
I still think this is crazy. I still think it's crazy. I just don't get it, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked Knives Out. It was a good movie, but come on. I mean, $400 million, then you're going to bring all these actors in that you're going to have to pay them all this stuff. I mean, sometimes you get one of these movies like Knives Out and you can get some great actors that are not at the top of their game anymore, like, you know, like Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Johnson and some of them that are, you know, that are not at the top of their game. And you may even get someone like Daniel Craig, who is big, you know, still, you know, very hot right now, but he may be willing to take a little less for a project like this because he wants to get out of the Bond, you know, the whole Bond thing, and he's looking for something else.
Yeah, Larry, he needed to take a little less because he's getting $100 million, as B. Avery clarified.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it's crazy, the idea that you have all this money going into this movie. It just seems utterly ridiculous. But I will say it's one thing. It's interesting, the casting that they've announced so far. It's like, what, 3 Marvel people? or people have played Marvel characters. You have Catherine Hahn that was just in WandaVision. You have Batista that's in Guardians of the Galaxy. You have Edward Norton that played the Incredible Hulk in the past. So yeah, maybe they need to go back and dip in the Marvel pool some more. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm happy with the cast, but you know, I think we can all universally agree that this is just too much damn money. But you know, we can't do nothing about it now, and hopefully everything will work out. You know,
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I mean, you spend all this money. You have these great actors. I hope it turns out to be a fantastic franchise. I hope it because I mean, if I'm wrong, it turns out to be fantastic. It's great entertainment for everyone and hopefully profitable for them. So I hope I'm wrong.
Right on. And let me go ahead and grab this super chat real quick. Infinite Science, $5. He was great as Spawn, and I was looking forward to part 2. P.S. I'm an old school straight black man. Please know where the money resides. Thanks. Well, I'm glad that that was kind of mean, man. You know,
he doesn't like the moistness.
Yeah, I didn't even see that you didn't want that. I just happened to play yes. And I was going to play the other one, and I would have realized it after the fact. So I guess we left out there. But
man, don't want no Duncan Hines. Come on,
bro.
Like a little
moistness.
Thank you for the money, man. But you know, we're not going to be mean. You know what I'm saying? And like let's be nice to everybody. You know. But
they already cussing us out, B.A. for a review we did last year, and all we said was from the trailer, we don't think that the show was going to look good. It's some new show that came out on Stars about women.
Yeah, it comes out tonight, I think, or something like that.
And we said that
Run the World or something.
Yeah, Run the World. We said that we didn't like the trailer, but we couldn't get an assessment of how the show would be because the trailer wasn't good. So we done got women in there just talking about 3 middle-aged black men not supporting sisters. I'm just sitting here like,
I got you.
I mean, it's not that we're not. I mean, I'm going to watch the show. I mean, we have a show with 4 good-looking black women in there. I mean, that's right there is already starting off on a plus. But I mean, the trailer didn't look good. But anyways, this dude, Infinite Science. Whenever I see his screen name pop up, I start hearing that weird science theme song playing in my head. So,
and I start hearing Mobb Deep.
I got you up.
And apparently, he starts to hear Where the Money Resides.
Let's go ahead and what topic is this? Let's go ahead and move on to the numbers are off because this is gonna be topic number 6. So let's go. Sorry about that, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on to topic number 6. And you know, I don't blame these people at all. I agree with them 100%. This is some BS, and if I was in their position, I would be doing the exact same thing. And Emily Blunt wants to know where her money is, you know. I definitely don't blame her, you know. And so I have the report right here, and also, but while I'm getting that report, actually, let me go ahead and bring in the third guest of the show, and that is our boy Elliot from Missouri with Movie Files. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
We're doing pretty good, man. We're pretty good. You have a good day today?
Yeah, man. Really great day. It was nice and rainy, and got some laundry done.
Already. It was raining over here too.
Yeah,
but we are on topic number 6 right now. And
I just want to give you my phone in case you need to call phone home.
Anyway, and like I was saying, Emily Blunt is wanting to know like where's her money, and I don't blame her. And I have the report right here from this is Bloomberg. And it says, A Quiet Place stars think Paramount owes them money. The studio is shortening the film's theatrical run, threatening their potential payday. And there is Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. Paramount Pictures is in a payday dispute with a Hollywood power couple over the studio's streaming plans for the new horror picture, A Quiet Place 2. According to a person familiar with the matter, creating a behind-the-scenes drama that could affect the income of other big stars. The couple, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, have a contract that compensates them based on the film's box office performance, but Paramount, owned by Viacom CBS Inc., has cut the film's exclusive run in theaters in half to 45 days from 90. and is scheduled for its May 28th release, when some chains will still be operating at limited capacity. And so just real quick, I just want to say, hell yeah, I would be mad too, because as we all know, these actors, actresses have back-end deals, and like the report just says, they're smart and they are going to get paid off of the box office receipts. But if you're cutting the window in half, that's cutting their paycheck in half. And, when they signed on the dotted line, they were under the impression that it was going to be a 90-day theatrical window. And so I would be pissed as hell. So I agree with them 100%. I would be mad too. But Elliot, first, I want to thank you for being here on the show, sir. I do really appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm going to come to you first on this one, man. How are you feeling about John Krasinski and Emily Blunt being pretty upset about this 90-day theatrical window being cut to 45 days and potentially taking money out of their pockets?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, I would be upset, knowing that I was supposed to get a paycheck, in the back end stuff, and things kind of change up. But I would imagine, of course, the headline reads this now, but I would imagine just like a lot of the celebrities and directors and actors were upset about the HBO situation, that they probably figured it out and they're going to take care of them behind the scenes, I would imagine, to make a start, especially what they want to do at Quiet Place 3, and they want to do like a spinoff. So I'm pretty sure the Krasinskis and Emily Blunt will get paid, especially once the numbers come in for streaming services. They'll probably get some type of incentive or something of that nature. But up front, I definitely understand where they're coming from in regards to frustration of like a studio's making this decision, especially John Krasinski. He's the director of this film, so you would think he would have a little bit of insight of them making that type of power move. But they're gonna get paid regardless. Emily Blunt has, working with Disney with the Jungle Cruise film, so she's gonna be fine. John Krasinski's gonna be fine too. But I definitely understand their initial reaction, but they'll be taken care of, I would assume.
Right on, Larry. How you feeling?
Man, I have all kinds of feelings about this. Really? Yeah, part of me feels like this is just another sort of symptom of this dying movie theater business model. But also, I feel like this is going to cause probably a number of actors and production companies to go back in and have to have their contracts rewritten after the movies have already been made, and that's going to cause some problems for some people, especially from the studios primarily. But I think we're going to see some much stiffer negotiations when people are going into for their contracts, because now all of a sudden, if you cut the theatrical window down to 45 days, people are going to say, well, before I was getting 5 points, I want 10. If you're only going to, if I'm only going to get a 45-day run in the movie theaters, I want 10 points instead of 5. I need to make sure I'm going to get paid, otherwise you're going to have, and for some people, you may say, okay, well, we'll just pay you more money, and that may be fine for some people. But some people may say, no, that's not good enough, because I'm going to be in the next Star Wars movie. I don't want just more cash up front. I want to make sure I get paid. I want a piece of this project. And so I think for some folks where they may only have gotten maybe 1 or 2 points, they're going to be like, you need to double that up. And I think they're going to have just cause to make that claim, and they're probably going to get it. But I think the studios are savvy and they are business minded and they have the money and they're going to control everything eventually. And I think we're going to eventually just start to see the theaters getting pushed aside, because the studios are probably going to start opening up their own theaters. And they're going to control the runs. They're going to control the theater. They already control their streaming stuff. And I think we're going to start to see some of these actors get pissed off because they're just not going to make as much money as they used to, because the theaters are, the studios are just going to simply say, nah, we're cutting these windows. We're cutting them from 90 to 45. Some of them are going to go to 30 days, and they're just going to say, we're not paying you anymore. If you don't like it, that's cool. We'll find another actor. Right on. Because it only takes one big breakout movie for somebody that's a nobody to become the next big thing. So you might be Emily Blunt and think that you're a big deal today. It doesn't take but for, 9 months, a year, 2 years for no one gives you a role before you go from being a big thing to basically a nothing.
Right on. And before I come to you, Lamont, I just have to share this as well. If you go over to Box Office Mojo, I just got to show how much, if my mic will not fall down, how much money this first film made. $340 million worldwide off of a budget of $17 million. That is a buku profit right there. And that we all know that on average about a third of this right here goes to the theater/theater owners. And so they're rightfully upset. But Lamont, how you feeling about all this, man? Are you with the studios? Were you with Emily Blunt and the Krasinski's? John Krasinski, how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Kind of in the middle. I'm gonna say this: I enjoyed the first movie. By the way, it was a damn good movie. They ain't had to kill the dad. Come on, man! Y'all
spoiler alert.
I'm assuming people seen the first movie by now.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, damn! Get your beer goggles on, brother. Start watching something. Anyway, I'm kind of and when you have these negotiations. Sometimes people put in their contracts these escape clauses. And fellas, I'm about sure that some of these movie theaters have in their clauses catastrophic issues such as a damn pandemic that most actors and directors think will never happen, in which they say, we reserve the right that if some pandemic, some atomic bomb drop, whatever they want to use as their legalese, that they can augment the viewing schedule. And that's what we're sitting in right now. However, a wise black woman once told me, she said, Lamont, there are 3 things you don't mess with when it comes to a woman. You don't mess with her man, you don't mess with her kids, and you damn sure don't mess with the money. And of the 2 in this couple, it's Emily Blunt saying, damn it, I want my coins. And so I feel where they're coming from. But I agree with Elliot. Somewhere on the back end, they're going to compensate them. And all that this did right here was probably make the theaters a little upset that they put their business out there so that they can get fanfare behind them, because everybody's going to be on their side. Nobody's going to be on the side of the greedy movie theaters and stuff like that. They're going to be on the side of Emily Blunt and her husband because they're doing things that we like. And so I do believe that somehow, some way, they will get compensated on the back end. But I would love to see those contracts to see if there is any kind of escape clause in there for something like a pandemic.
Right on.
I bet you what we're going to start seeing, man, is we're going to start seeing these contracts with all kinds of different contingencies in there and accelerators where they're going to say, okay, this movie may be set for a 45-day theatrical run, but if it has a strong opening weekend or 2, then we're going to expand it out maybe from 45 days to 60 days. And if it continues to do well, then we're going to move it from 60 to 90 days. And then based on how long it's in the theaters, we may see the percentage that they get off the box office receipts. It may, if they have an extended run, it may decrease. But if it's a shortened run, we may see their percentage increase. So I think we're going to see all kinds of new contracts and new clauses in there because these people everybody, the actors, the studios, everybody can afford the best lawyers. And no one's going to go in there and just allow themselves to get bent over. They'll just be like, nah, forget that. I don't want to do that. I'll make my own movie if that's the case. Yeah. I'll go make my own indie project and spend $2 million and put it out there and make 50, and I don't even need to worry about you. Right.
Let me grab this real quick. Infinite Science, I see your $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Yes! I don't want to put it up on the screen. I hope you can understand that. But I do appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much. And I hear you, duly noted, and I will try to look out for that next time. Hopefully I didn't piss you off, and you will be back. But,
Infinite Science, if you come through, prepare to be hazed, man. That's what we do here. You guys come through talking stuff and hazing us in the comments. We're gonna come back through with our microphones and give it back to you. So it is what it is. It's all love.
I don't know about the hazing comment, but I hear you, Infinite Science, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. And guys, let's go ahead and move on to topic number 7. It has to do with Emily Blunt again as well. She has a lot to say in Hollywood right now. And, again, I don't blame her, but this is kind of shifting over to some superhero news. But she's tired of all the fan casting. She is, she says it has been exhausted you know. And so
Right.
let's go ahead and talk
Who
about that.
Who does she think is watching her movies?
Exactly.
Well, let's talk
Who do you
about it.
think
Let's
is
talk
paying?
about
Who
it.
do you think's buying her Mercedes and her fancy house? Who do you think's paying for all that crap? It's the fans. So shut up and deal with it.
Shut up.
And I just
Sorry, that wasn't my turn yet.
Yeah, you know, I'm used to it. I'm used to it. But I have the report right here from IndieWire, and it says Emily Blunt says she's no longer likes the superhero genre. It has been exhausted. We are inundated. It's not only all movies; it's endless TV shows as well. Blunt says, and she scrolls down. Emily Blunt was close to joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Black Widow and Iron Man 2. But a scheduling conflict with the Jack Black starring family adventure Gulliver's Travels prevented her from playing a superhero since then. Superhero buzz has often circled Blunt. The most recent rumors would have you believe Marvel is considering Blunt for Sue Storm in his upcoming John Watts-directed Fantastic Four movie, but Blunt recently told Howard Stern via Insider that's not the truth. And so I'll just go ahead and say this real quick. I think she's just kind of blowing smoke. You know, it is all about where the money resides.
Exactly.
And let me just, you know, better fan casting, Blunt said about Fantastic Four. Cast the rumors while on her promotional tour for A Quiet Place 2. No one has ever received a phone call. That's just people saying, you know, wouldn't it be great? Lamont, I'm coming to you, man. You know, people have been speculating for the longest that they want her as Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four, but she talking about it's exhausting and, you know, blah, 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 blah. How you feeling about this, man? You think there's any truth to her comments, or is she just trying to get a higher pay raise and this is kind of some type of negotiation tactic?
Man, if it's so exhausting, sit your ass down and take 2 puffs on the asthma pump or something. I mean, man, look, it ain't that serious, Emily, and I'm a big fan. If you're really that damn exhausted, step aside, because I'm sorry to tell you this. This is the genre that people are paying the big bucks for. This is what people want to see. And when you give people what they want to see, they exchange that with money. People are telling you, and I don't know how you got fan casted to the front of the line with your husband to be Sue Storm. Anyway, I guess because you're married to your husband and they just didn't want to break y'all up or something. And it sounds to me like there's a little bit of hating going on because you didn't get Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. So when you add all these different elements for you to make your statement, I think what you don't know that you did was you just slapped the fans who pay your checks in the face by saying we need to watch something else on TV. And if the genre, and we had this debate last week, Larry said he worries that we might get superhero fatigue. And I told Larry, they said the same thing after the first Avengers. And then after that, every superhero movie was starting to make $1 billion or get close to it. So there's no such thing as fatigue as long as whatever you put on the screen has a good script, good cast, and it has the elements people like. It don't matter what it is. So Emily, put on an oxygen mask, sit on down, put somebody else in the starting 5, and chill the hell out.
Right on. I'm coming to you, Larry. How you feeling about all this?
Yeah, I just say bye, Felicia. Be out. You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Anybody who's like, I think that it's overrated or it's done or we're inundated. I don't want those people in any superhero role, because these superhero movies nowadays, they're not one-offs. You know, people have universes and they're building out these universes. So people are going to be there for potentially decades, for 10, 15, 20 years sometimes. You might run into 2 decades with the same actor. I mean, we practically had that with what's his name, with played Iron Man, you know? And so I feel like if you're already talking about you're tired of it, that's the last person that you want to cast in that role, because you don't want them to be 1 or 2 movies in and then they're like, oh, I'm so tired of this. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of playing a superhero. This superhero stuff is played out. I don't want to hear any of that. I just want people that are enthusiastic about it, people that are hungry, that still want to do the work. And if she doesn't want to do it, she wants to go and make, you know, dramas or rom-coms or something, let her go do it. You know, go do whatever else you're going to do.
Right on.
So
before I come to you, Elliot, let me read this. Speaking about the superhero genre at large, Blunt added, it's been exhausted. We are inundated. I already read this part. It's not easy to say that it's not to say that I never want to play one. It would just have to be something so cool like a really cool character, and I'll be interested. And her husband, he has different feelings about this. Blunt's husband and Quiet Place co-star and director John Krasinski feels differently. Addressing cast rumors about playing Mr. Fantastic and Fantastic Four, Krasinski told Men's Health last year, "I love those movies because they're fun, but I also think they're really well done," Krasinski said. "I have no idea what Marvel are thinking, but if they are considering me for Mr. Fantastic, continue to consider me because I would love it." And so it's kind of weird that their husband and wife and have completely different conflicting statements. You know, they need to have a conversation in the bedroom next time before they speak, because that just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Yeah. Again, personally, I just think that I know she's going to accept the role. Yeah. I think she's just negotiating a bigger check. But Elliot, how you feeling about all this?
That's where I was going at. This is Emily Blunt. I mean, she's on Howard Stern. The context of the question was just probably, you know, obviously she's doing the Quiet Place 2 tours, and they probably asked her, "Hey, have you heard about the rumors of you being in Marvel?" And, you know, after the 100th time she's probably been asked that in the day, she probably had the time just to kind of, you know, maybe pretend to speak her mind. But I think you're totally right, Brandon. I think this is her just asking for a slightly bigger paycheck because she's already in the bed with Disney. She already did Mary Poppins, and she did Jungle Book later this year. She's already working with Disney. So I think it's the writing's on the wall in regards to, even if it's not like them to be in the film, like their own solo film, everyone knows that Doctor Strange is supposed to have like these alternate characters. So we might get like a fun fan casting of them being like an alternate universe Fantastic Four. But I think, yeah, this is just her saying that she's just having fun. I think by the end of this year, we'll hear Emily Blunt, John Krasinski as Sue and, you know, Richard Fantastic Four. So I think this is her just asking for a little bit of money because Paramount, she's not getting the money for A Quiet Place 2, so she's going back to Disney to get paid.
Right on.
And Avery, when they showed the lineup, Fantastic Four was in that Marvel lineup they released last week. That was in that lineup. So I think the writing's on the wall with this.
They can pass. They can go ahead and cast Boris Kojo and Nicole Ari Parker in there instead.
You could.
You know, I'll take those two instead of these. If I mean, she don't want to be in there. I don't want her to get cast in there, and then she's tired of it 2 movies in, and then she's trying to convince her husband to dip out of it too because she's sick of it.
She want to be there, but let me grab
it.
Yeah. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, I'll tell
Sam 999 super chat. Where the money reside? Yes, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. I don't know why I put so much extra emphasis on that. I was just really feeling it, but thank you, Sam. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Why are you clapping, bro?
Because that's where the money resides.
Yeah. And what One Take Big Dog say, Larry, you on your own on this one. That's what's up. That's what's
I'm
up.
on my own so many times. One take.
Yeah. That is true.
I stay on my own half the time, man.
Well, fellas,
y'all come around my way eventually.
This is where I pull the ripcord on you fellas. I have to go now. You know, we do have a little one, and she likes dad to come in there and squeeze the rubber ducky and make faces and all kinds of silliness. So it's where I got to jump out, fellas.
Well, again, thank you for being here, Lamont. Again, people in the chat and the replay, you can check out his channel in the description box. And also, if you head over to my channel tab, bam, right there goes Lamont, Tyson, and Life Game Reviews. So again, Lamont, thank you so much for being here, my brother. And you have a good night. And I will talk to you later, sir.
All right, fellas. I'll see you next time.
All right, see you tomorrow, man.
Good night.
Peace.
All right. But we are moving right along. Emily Blunt and her crazy comments. So let's go ahead and move on to topic number 8. And I bet Larry is happy about this, just to be honest with you. But I have to say, I am very disappointed, you know, because this dude right here really just hates the movie theaters, which is just, you know, unfortunate. Elliot, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like he was allergic, like he got beat up by bullies at the movie
theater, just like trauma. He just has that. Yeah, it's like a trigger.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to topic number 8, and you know, so he can go ahead and dance. But it looks like Larry is winning, and I said that it looks like everything is all over with the theatrical window of movie theaters. And I have the report right here from Variety as well. It says, RIP to the 90-day theatrical window. Boo hoo hoo, this sucks balls. Pour one out for the 90-day theatrical window. The decades-old staple of the film world slipped the Shirley Bonds of Earth during COVID, perhaps the most consequential example of how the pandemic has upended the cinema business. The roughly 3-month time frame the industry calls the theatrical window, the long-standing agreement between Hollywood studios and theater owners about the length of time to play movies exclusively in cinemas has officially been laid to rest. After months of teetering precautiously across the precipice, the final blow came on Thursday from the Disney announcement that Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and Ryan Reynolds' action comedy Free Guy would screen in theaters for 45 days before landing in home entertainment. And so I'm not happy about this. I have my comments that I reserve for last, but Elliot, I'm coming to you first, man. Sir. How you feeling about this, man? How you feeling?
I'm a creature of habit in a sorts, but I'm also someone that can adapt to change, man. This has been, the history of movie theaters from, movies being in the theater for over a year. I remember growing up being, with Titanic being in the theater for 9-10 months. I was able to accumulate that much money because they were in theater for almost the whole entire year. And as things went by, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, we went from, 6 months to 3 months. So we know how streaming is. It just makes sense. I'm not completely on Larry's side with the whole theatrical experience being dead, but there is just the inundation of streaming services and just people's attention spans. There's something on Netflix every week. There's something on HBO Max, and now Paramount's going to have a film every week. So it just makes sense that we went from 90 to now, 45, and in 10 years, it might be 30 days that we'll only get movies in the theater. Who knows? Maybe the price people will actually run out to the theater because they know they only have 30 days to see the film. So
it's already going to be 30 days. It's already, I think Warner Brothers and Paramount already said they're going to do 30 days for some of their movies.
There you go. So I mean, it's kind of again, it's always good to have options for those that don't want to go to the theater, be able to see it at a quicker span. But I think this is just something that because me personally, when I want to see a film, I'll see it in the first week or two. So it doesn't take me a long 3-4 months to see a film, and plus now people get the opportunity to see it sooner rather than later. So I'm actually okay with this. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, before I come to you, Larry, the health of the theatrical window began to considerably deteriorate last July as Universal Pictures signed a historic deal that allowed the studio move its films from a historic deal that allowed the studio move its films to premium video on demand platforms after just 17 days in theaters. Paramount Pictures and Warner Brothers have subsequently indicated their upcoming movies will play in theaters for 45 days. Warner Brothers is releasing its entire 2021 theatrical slate concurrently on HBO Max as a 1-year concession to the pandemic. Sony Pictures, should the studio actually release any movies in theaters, is expected to adapt a similar shortened window. Larry, let us have it, man. How you feeling?
Here's the thing that we need to realize and need to remember, that I know that America has COVID fatigue and we want to get back to normal. But we only have like 35% of our population that is fully vaccinated. And so we are nowhere near herd immunity. They say the World Health Organization says that herd immunity should be 80% of your population vaccinated. The US just can't wait that long. So they're talking about 70%. And even with that, we're only halfway to herd immunity. And you have people that don't want to get vaccinated. And now they want to turn around and try and force people to go into a closed room with people with their masks down, eating popcorn and drinking sodas so that you can see your favorite movie. No. I think they should keep the movie theaters closed. They shouldn't have them there. I mean, unless you want to create some sort of vaccine passport or some sort of health passport to prove that you're vaccinated before you can go into these sort of theaters and such. Other than that, no, they should just keep putting them out on streaming. And I think that's the way it's going to go anyways. I mean, to be honest with you, I think once these studios figure out a solid business model to make money off of their streaming platforms by bypassing the theaters, that's what they're going to do. Because yes, it's important that it sounds nice to say, oh yeah, this Marvel movie made $1 billion in the theaters. But guess what? Those studios are not getting $1 billion from that $1 billion gross, because 40% or 50% of it's going to the theaters. And so they're coming up with half of that. And if they can bypass the theaters and make all that money off of their streaming services, why not? Why not? It's sort of like the studios adopting the indie music model where people say, I don't need a record deal from some big label. I can go ahead and make my music in my garage and put it out and on my own and go the whole Metallica route and say, I don't need to make $100 million. I don't need my album to make $100 million for me to get rich. I only need my album to make $15 million because I'm getting all 15 million of it instead of having to share 85% of it. So, I think as we're going to see is that the studios they're going to just simply say, we don't need these theatrical releases like we used to. They're going to find a different metric that's going to show this is a big blockbuster movie. They're going to find some super genius, business school kid who wrote a paper on how studios can make a ton of money with their streaming services, and they're going to hire that person, and that's going to become the new business model for the industry, and it's just a matter of time. That's probably already in the works. It's just a matter of time. I think part of it is getting rid of these old dinosaurs that run the studios. It's a part of it is getting rid of those people, allowing the new blood to come in and actually implement some of these new strategies.
Right on. Now, how I feel about this, I still don't think the theaters are just gonna. Well, that's not the article. I was gonna say die. That's not talking about they're gonna die. Just a theatrical window. I don't think. I think this 45-day thing is just only for certain titles, and they're still experimenting right now. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is cemented right now because there's just no way in hell that when Avengers 5 and 6 comes out, there's going to be a 45-day window. There's no way in hell that Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5 that is already halfway done on 2 of those films is going to be a 45-day window. James Cameron will burn the studio down himself if that happened. That would be the stupidest decision. Like I just don't see that happening. I can't remember off the top of my head, but do y'all know when Avatar 2 is coming out? Is it this year or next year? Well, it's not this year, but is next year maybe?
I think it's 2023 actually, if I'm not mistaken, but it might be next year.
Okay.
I wasn't a big Avatar fan. I thought the movie was good, but it wasn't great.
It made $2.7 billion.
No, I'm not doubting the success of the movie. I'm not doubting the success of it. I'm just saying I didn't think it was a great movie. I thought it was a good movie.
That's fine. I'm just saying that because of the success of it, there's no way that film is going to be in a 45-day window. That's not going to happen.
A question for you though, Brent, in regards to just that sense of urgency and that whole FOMO mindset. If it is 45 days, just saying hypothetically, if this is the permanent game plan for the foreseeable future, wouldn't you think the audience would want to kind of rush out to theaters because they know they don't have 3 months to see it? They only have, half of that to go see it. Do you think that would kind of maybe encourage people to go see it before it comes to streaming, or maybe it hurts the studios and people don't see it because they can see it in 45 days?
I do think that it would cause people to rush out to see it. Mm-hmm. I do. I think that would be encouraged, but I don't think there's still enough. Everybody's not going to do that. Because Avatar was one of those films that got people to the movies that never go to the theaters. Like I think not the average moviegoer, but the average person maybe goes to the theater one to 2 times a year.
Right.
And what Avatar did was got those people out of their homes to run to the theater because everybody was talking about it. I mean, I cannot remember the last time where everybody was universally saying, "Have you seen Avatar?" No, what's that about? Like I heard about, like, no, you have to go see it today. Like when you get off work. Not this weekend, not next week, but today. Like that's what everybody was saying. And that's the only way you can make that type of money. And I just don't see Disney turning that down.
But Avatar had a very social and political message, and we're in a different space in this country, in the world in large part. And is the new movie going to be able to resonate with people like that?
Most definitely. I think it's more culturally appropriate now than it was in 2009 because what is it about? Colonists and white supremacists taking over a land that's not theirs? I mean, my goodness gracious.
Right. So you're gonna have half this country not wanting to see it because they're not going to want to watch that stuff. You're gonna have large swaths of Europe that are in South America that aren't going to want to see it because they're very right leaning and don't want to see that stuff.
No, because they in the first film they want to see it because they received justice. Like the good guys won, and if you can get more of that. I think we was talking with everything that's happening in Israel right now in Gaza. Everybody was unified. Everybody was unified last year with George Floyd worldwide. and that kind of it resonates and it's a parallel to the plot of the movie to me. Now I haven't seen Avatar 2 and 3, so I don't know if the plot is going to be the same, but I mean it was over supremacists trying to take over in Boss Hog, and I think that resonates with a lot of people, not just here in the States but worldwide. But you know, that's just me. So I'm not happy with this, but I don't think it's set in stone. Nobody knows what the future really holds.
Well, I will say this: if they bring back the drive-in theaters, or even just bring in outdoor theaters, could you imagine how dope that would be if you had like big outdoor walk-up theaters where you can go outside? They have a nice lawn. They have the, you know, you can bring your picnic basket and your blanket, and you can sit out there on a nice big lawn and watch the movie instead of being a drive-in theater, it's a walk-in theater. And you also maybe have drive-in theaters too, because you know there's going to be times where you have weather and it rains and it gets, you know, it's too cold. You're going to want that. I mean, there's plenty of room to have theatrical experiences without people sitting in enclosed rooms breathing other people's air. Because I can tell you right now, these variants are out there. They are still getting people sick and they're still killing people. Even in this country, even though the numbers have gone way down, we still have thousands of new infections every day. And there's 600 people dying every single day of this virus. And I can tell you, if you have a variant that becomes a breakthrough and people that have been vaccinated start to get sick more, or people that haven't been vaccinated just start getting sick more, I can tell you right now, if they have to do a second round of shutdowns come fall or winter, you might as well just go ahead and just close the theaters altogether, because no one's going back. That model is dead.
Right on. All right. Well, I mean, I have something else I want to say about it, but you know, I'll go ahead and you know, down this hill and you know, move on to the next one. But we'll see.
I want to know what you have to say, man. Say it.
Well, we got to move on, and actually, it just slipped my mind. So,
I guess we gotta still see what happens with Disney with Black Widow and how that model works at $30, you know, premium price.
That is very true.
I hope they lower that premium price. I don't like the $30 thing. I think that's too much. I think if they bring that down to $20, like I would pay potentially $20 to watch Black Widow.
Nope. That is a horrible idea, in my opinion. That just does not make economic sense to me. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. But moving
on. At some point, it's about quantity, because it's not costing them anything. It doesn't cost them anything if you charge $19, it doesn't cost them anything to have more people watch it for $20 instead of having less people watch it at $30. It doesn't cost them anything to do that. You know, it's not like they have to put it on more theater screens. It's not like they have to make more copies of it. It's not like they have to worry about transporting it more.
It's not as profitable.
There's no other cost to having more people stream it for $20.
It's just not. It's not as profitable. That's the thing. You know, you want your ROI. So
if you have quantity. If you bring the people in to watch it. If you get more people watching it at $20, and they have shown that Amazon has done this model where they have shown more than once with different products. If you get more people to buy your product at a lower cost, you will make more money.
We'll see, but the model that they've tried have been movies that have been subpar at best, where it's Mulan. What was the other one? Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah, and so these aren't like giant blockbusters, and you know, so.
And that's like that article, like in the article you put out where they said that they tried this years ago with some movie and they were charging $60 to watch it. I mean, that's one of those things. You take a mediocre movie and you charge people way too much money for it, and then you say, "Oh, this model failed." No, you failed. You failed because you didn't put out a good movie.
I agree. That is the point I'm making. So yeah, we do agree there. So but Black Widow and you know, what's not Free Guy, but Black Widow is really going to be the test, because that's a potential $1 billion film. But you know, we'll just have to see. But since we're talking about Black Widow, you know, which is in the MCU, we got to talk about more MCU stuff. And it's 2 films right here, and I don't know what's going to happen. This is shocking to me. But we have topic number 9 right here, And I said, hey, looks like we got big trouble in China. You know, I was gonna say, I want to say big trouble in little China,
Little China,
yeah.
but there's nothing.
I was hoping you were gonna say it.
No, there's nothing little. I wanted to, but I was like, China not little. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, the China's huge. But I got the report right here from Variety again, and it says Marvel Shang-Chi Eternals. Marvel Shang-Chi and Eternals may face an uphill battle to enter China. And it says a recent Chinese state media report has added to rumors that the two major Marvel superheroes, Eternals and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, may not be approved for release in China. In a report on the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 4 films, the CCTV6 China Movie Channel aired a list of the U.S. release dates for 8 of the 10 scheduled titles, but conspicuously left out Eternals and Shang-Chi after Black Widow, which hits the U.S. July 9th. They are the next two MCU films in the lineup, releasing in North America on September 3rd and November 5th, respectively. The omission might seem small, but its significance lies in its provenance. The channel is under the jurisdiction of China's powerful propaganda department, which has the final word on the film's approvals. And so just real quick, if y'all didn't know about this, like, of course, the United States domestically, that is the #1 box office behemoth in the world, and China is number 2. But with the Chinese government, and I'm not throwing any shade, they are very strict with their government on how many films foreign can be released in their in their country. No matter what the entertainment is, I think they can only have like 8 or 10 films per year brought in from foreign audiences. And so you would think that Eternals, you know, you have Chloe Zhao, who is an Asian descent, and also Shang-Chi, Chinese. I think he's like half Chinese, and I forgot his ethnicity exactly, or his nationality exactly. But it may not be approved, as the article states, and you can read it down in the description box below. They're facing an uphill battle. It's pretty interesting because, for one, I could not find all of the information, but Chloe Zhao has made some comments in the past that has pissed off a ton of people in China. They're basically like, screw her. You know, we don't want to have anything to do with her. And this is prior to her just now winning the Oscar for Nomadland, which is a fantastic film if you haven't seen. And also, I really want to hear from, if I have any Chinese brothers and sisters in the comment section, whether you're watching this live or in the replay. I want to hear how y'all feel about this as well, because we all know that initially in Shang-Chi, the villain was characterized as this guy right here, Fu Manchu, which is apparently super duper racist. And you know, I don't know if I want to make the comparison like that's how black people feel about blackface. I don't know. I can't make that comparison, but maybe correct me if I'm wrong. But they're assuming that the Mandarin is kind of like this character right here that's really offensive, and they're just not having it. So they're mad at Chloe Zhao, they're mad at Shang-Chi, saying that you know, they're just not feeling it. And so read the article, it's pretty good. But Elliot, I'm coming to you first, man. How are you feeling about all this and this uphill battle that China, that these two Marvel films has to face in China?
Yeah, I mean, that's it's kind of wild because I would think that, you know, a lot of people over in Asia and China would love to see these films, to be able to be first, you know, Asia. Well, I know I think he's from Canada, but you know, he has Asian descent as far as the lead in that film, and the majority of the cast. He's Chinese. Okay, so I know the majority of the cast is you know, representing that culture as well. And then you mentioned Chloe, so it's I would think that would be like, tour wise, if the world was open more, they would probably do tours in China and really kind of push that market out there to really kind of you know, something to be proud of. But this just goes to show China doesn't care who you are, what you are. I remember they had issues with Star Wars never does good in China. I know Black Panther, I know a lot of stuff kind of happened with Black Panther in China with like critics and kind of bombing the film and whatnot. So again, this is just China. I guess just their governments are very strict with their films. I know just like with certain films, like they don't even allow like certain themes of like a ghost and certain like religion things in films. So like they're very particular about what they allow their audience to see. So it doesn't really surprise me, but I know if I'm the director for both films and Marvel, I was probably banking on maybe having that opportunity to have the audience being able to be happy to see themselves on the big screen. But it looks like that may or may not happen. So it's kind of wild to me.
Larry, how you feeling about this?
I feel like they should just go ahead and release the movie, and if they don't want it in China, then don't don't give it to them. Let the Chinese people force their government to give them what they want. It's not like they're not going to watch it anyways. They're going to watch it eventually.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't, I mean, they can try and, I mean, it's not like you can't get around the Great Firewall. People do all the time. When I went to China a couple of years ago, they kept saying, oh, you can't even get on Instagram. I was like, I'm on Instagram right now. I'm posting right now. You can get around the Great Firewall if you know how. And they do, people do it all the time. And I mean, I hate it when these US companies, they come out and they try and act like they're all, you know, just about, you know, democracy and freedom and everything else. They espouse these lofty ideals, and then they just kowtow and cave to China because of how much money can be generated there. And, you know, I feel like at some point they need to simply say, you either take our films as they are, or you just don't get them at all. And if they don't want them, that's fine. You know, you just don't send them. There's lots of money to be made elsewhere. There's a lot of money.
That's the thing, though.
Forget China then. Forget if you can't send your stuff over to China, how about you start marketing your stuff to Africa? There's an entire continent over there filled with people that would love to have the latest movies in some movie theaters that they can watch. And Africans love their damn movies. They love movies and have a huge movie industry over there that is largely ignored. And so if the Chinese don't want it, send it to Africa. You know,
I mean, you said, I hear what you're saying. Well, I'm actually kind of starting to agree with you, because I won't beg anybody to take my money, or, you know, if you don't want to deal with me, I'm gonna be like, kick rocks, you know. And so, like, if I go to a store or whatever, Walmart, a certain bar, whatever, and they don't want to serve me my drinks in time, like, oh, because you're an N-word or whatever, I'm not gonna be like, why don't you love me? I'm like, F it, and go to some place that will accept my money. But at the same time, I mean, China is the largest box office behemoth in the world. Yeah, you know, so. It is a business move as well. You do want the dollars, you know. I mean,
it's also about having some professional and creative integrity as well. And if you start to sacrifice that, you then will lose your core audience. And the reality of it is, America is Marvel's core audience. If we don't watch those movies, do you think the rest of the world's going to watch? They're going to be like, oh, this movie flopped in the US. The rest of the world's going to be like, oh, that movie must suck then. You know, with the rare exception of some stuff, yes, there are some people that are going to love David Hasselhoff while we think they're crazy for it. You know, yes, that can happen. But you have to have your own professional and creative integrity. You could make, I'm sure you could right now, you could probably go out there and make a show that's going to be very pleasing to white folks. That's going to say everything that they want to hear, and you'll probably have 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But you don't, because you want to put out the content that you want to put out and give the message that you want to give, and have professional and creative integrity. And that means sometimes that you have to grow slower, or you may not reach a certain audience, and that's fine. You find the audience that you want finds you. And there are other parts of this world that they can market to. There are 1.3 billion people in India, which you can't send your movies to India.
Well, they're doing that. You know, they're starting to do that. You know,
yeah, but they're not doing it that much.
Well, I mean, they are now. But let me.
My point is, if China doesn't want you, then go find the people that do.
Okay. I mean, I won't argue with that.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay.
Ocean's Truth and Wisdom $4.99 super chat. For some reason, they want Shang-Chi to be the next Black Panther, but that will never happen, especially with their crappy looking martial arts. Man, that's a bit much. You know, I don't know about that, but
I don't know about that either. I mean, Asian folks want to see themselves on screen. They want to see representations of themselves just like we do. And I fully expect that they're going to show up in force to watch this movie.
Yeah, we'll see. Clay D said, I wish they would tell China to kick rocks. That's kind of funny. But it was something else I wanted to touch on. It says right here, although the Mandarin is not the same person as Fu Manchu, is still under the shadow of Fu Manchu. The official Communist Youth League paper China Youth Day warned back in 2019. Even just the announcement of the character has caused huge controversy in China. Marvel wants Shang-Chi to earn money from global audiences, but faces a big challenge. the film itself will decide whether it will end in tears or in laughter.
I guess to that point that you just brought up, because I'm thinking that the first time we saw the Mandarin was in Iron Man 3, and it was Ben Kingsley, who's not an Asian, well, pretending to be the Mandarin,
Right.
and then Guy Pearce was revealed to be the Mandarin, an Australian guy. So I guess I'm confused on like this whole thing of like who they think the Mandarin is going to be. If it's if they allowed Iron Man 3 made $1 billion because it was able to be played in a Chinese audience, and I believe, I don't know if you guys remember there was a deleted scene in Iron Man 3 that had like a very famous, popular Asian actor that was like a doctor removing the nanobites from Tony Stark's reactor, and they deleted that scene in America, but it played in China. So I'm just confused on why like the whole Mandarin is an issue now, but they were able to have the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, which played in China.
Right. I'm very confused because they said these are characters created solely for the purpose of getting a slice of the big cake that is China's enormous box office. There is no soul in them at all. The hodgepodge of Asian elements in the movie are unintelligible, one mainlander wrote. I mean, even
the movie hasn't even been out yet. How are they basing this off of what?
We can't
off a trailer?
Yeah, I don't it's weird, man. Even Sima Lu, I think that's his name. He even I would have put up the video, but I think it was in Mandarin, and you know, I don't speak Mandarin. But he was kind of telling like, I heard you guys, but at the same time, stop hating. You haven't even seen the movie.
Right.
And so I don't know, man. It's just very weird. I can't wait for it to come out because I just want to see the response in the States and overseas as well. Because this is
it looks like it's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah,
the trailers that I've seen. I mean, I don't know. People are saying the martial arts looks janky, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know what trailers they're watching. I didn't see that. It looks like it's going to be good. It doesn't look like you're going to get the same sort of like wire work that you're going to get in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It looks like it's going to be more sort of like on the ground, butt kicking, you know, action movie martial arts. Right. Which is cool. I mean, there's different types of martial arts movies. You have the ones that do all that wire work where people are floating, landing on top of bamboo branches and stuff. And then you have the kind where people are on the ground kicking each other's heads in. And I think that, you know, maybe you like them both, maybe you like one or the other. I think what we're going to get in this is more of the people on the ground kicking each other's heads in, which is cool.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. We got only 2 topics left, and I'm sure we want to get to this Snake Eyes trailer. You know, I don't even know what time it's going to drop, but this right here is very, very upsetting to me. I am, I'm really scared, to be honest with you guys. But I said this sucks because it just does. You know, Disney has had great leadership for the past 10 years or so. But Bob Iger is leaving, and we got this new dude, Bob Chapek, coming through. Trading out Bob Iger for Bob Chapek. And I got the report right here. It says Disney's new world order leads to confusion and bruised egos. And guys, again, if you're watching this in the live chat, please give me that thumbs up. There's a link to this article in the description box, and please read it because it's quite good and it's quite telling. But the beginning says the Walt Disney Company is in throes of a major leadership shift, with newly minted CEO Bob Chapek asserting more authority as the longtime leader. He replaced Bob Iger, prepares to surrender his executive chairman role for emeritus status at year end. That means current. The two men's once warm relationship has grown strained, according to 4 insiders. This comes as Chapek has overseen a 2020 reorganization that centralized the media's company content distribution and ad sales. At the corporate level, Iger has moved much more into the background than he was a few months ago, even on the creative side, insiders say. In a sign of leadership transfer taking place, Chapek has not only joined Iger in creative meetings, but actually convened some of this spring with top creative teams in television under Peter Rice and Dana Walden. Again, guys, I do want you to check this out below. It's a very long article, but basically what it's saying is nobody is happy at Disney right now. That under this new leadership, Chapek is just coming in and adding new unnecessary levels of management. He was trying to streamline the creative process across all platforms, but he is making it even harder. More control is being given to the executives than the creators, which is a horrible idea, in my opinion. And it's just, you know, nobody's happy, and people's responsibilities are being taken away, and they are just confused as hell, you know, and it's really unfortunate. he says everyone is becoming more and more differential to Chapek. According to one Disney executive who asked not to be identified, things are radically different than they were 6 months ago. The insider noted that senior leaders have tried to insulate the creative teams from all the upheaval. Larry, I mentioned this to you guys early in the week, man, and I'm really concerned about this. But how are you feeling about this news leadership and Bob Chapek, making everything convoluted unnecessarily?
Honestly, man, I think this is one of those stories that's a non-story.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I think it's just one of those things where it's like, if you're going to leave a company, whether it's going to be a small one or a large one, and Disney being one of the largest, Fortune 500 companies out there, I mean, you're a type A personality, you're an alpha, and you're going to have to end up going in there and doing your own thing. You're going to go in there and you're going to run the company the way you want the company run. That's why they put you in that leadership position. They didn't put you in there to be, to be someone's lapdog. They put you in there to run this company the way you think it's going to run best. And the reason why they see him as the best person to take this company moving forward is because they recognize that things are changing. They recognize that the way people are marketing is changing, the way advertising is changing, the way streaming is changing things, the way different business models are maybe changing up as far as content creation, all the way to to distribution. All that stuff is changing. And so, yeah, people, when you bring in new leadership, people are going to get their feathers ruffled. People are going to be, I don't know if you've been through it. I've been through it where I've been at a company and there's been management change and people get all bent out of shape. Oh, we didn't used to do it like that. We used to do it like this. And they have to tell you, that's not how we're doing it anymore. That may be how your old manager or your old boss or your old CEO did it. That's not how we're doing it anymore. We're changing things up. So you can either get with the program or you can get out and we'll get somebody in here that will get with the program, And that's basically what it has to come down to, is that sometimes some people can't stay. Some people have to go. Some people are going to be, I'm confused. I used to do it like this, and now they're telling me not to do it like this. You're right. There's no confusion. You don't need to. You're not confused. You don't like it. That's all it is. It's not confusion. It's you being upset about it because you don't like it. But the fact of the matter is, they want you to do something different. So do it different.
I kind of see what you're saying, Larry. That is true, because the article does say bruise egos, and nobody's going to like it if you do have responsibility and it's taken away. But universally, if people are confused, that's not a good thing. You never want people under you to be confused. You want them to be happy. Another thing is why are you adding extra layers of management, and for what? Another thing is, I don't think the executive, look, we all know that this is a business, P&L, profit and loss, you always want to make money. But I don't think that the executives should be in charge of the creative process. That's why Warner Brothers is in a crap storm right now as well. That's why Kevin Tusher-Howard was booted out, because he didn't have any idea on how to make a film and put a 2-hour mandate on the Justice League, and that pigeonholed the creative process. And we all know how that turned out. So let the creators lead, as Bob Iger was doing. Hold on,
we had that already.
Let me finish. Let the creatives lead the process, make their product, and then if it doesn't make business sense, you can make adjustments then. But if you come in and say, okay, it has to be 1 hour and 45 minutes. We have to have 7 women and 6 men. We have to have this person say this, because that just never works in my opinion. And Bob Iger and Alan Horn, like Bob Iger. So Bob Chapek is the current CEO of Disney. Bob Iger was the CEO, but he had more power because he was also like chairman of the board. And he brought in Alan Horn. And the article states that back in like 2011, 2012, they had flops with John Carter and The Lone Ranger. Those movies lost hundreds of millions of dollars. And Alan Horn came in and saved the day for the past 9 years. So at the end of this year, he's leaving, as well as Alan Horn, and they says that nobody's going to be replacing that. So why, if Bob Chapek wants to go in the complete opposite direction of their vision and bring in more stuff after he already saves the day, to me, that's just extremely problematic, and it's just going to cause problems. I personally just don't want them to mess up my Marvel movies. But Elliot, how you feeling about all this?
A little bit of column A, column B. I agree with a little bit of both of what you guys said. And I mean, so to Larry's point, I mean, Bob has been working with Disney for the last 26 years. And he was 2011, he was assigned to merchandising when the acquisition of Star Wars came into place. He brought all the merchandise to Disney with the acquisition there. So he's familiar with the brand. And then he's been running the Disney parks for the last 6 years, and all with Marvel, Disney, Pixar, anything Disney, the number one profitable thing that Disney has is their parks. So, I mean, this, like Larry said, this guy, they don't just give this guy a position. He's been with Disney for a while. He's been handling some pretty big stuff. So to Larry's point, he knows what he's doing in some cases. So it might sound like, again, and keep in mind that Bob was brought into this Disney position, the CEO, during a pandemic, getting in someone out that was in the business for a while. So it's a transitional thing that, like you just mentioned in the article, there's bruised egos. There's still people transitioning, working from home and maybe getting back to working back in the office. So it's a tough time to kind of come in and be in the CEO of the biggest, corporate entertainment industry in the business. So I think Bob, right now, he's ruffling some feathers, obviously, because people have been kind of set in their ways. But again, you don't just bring in someone that's been familiar with the brand for 26 years and handled the parks and handled the merchandising. I think it's just going to take a little bit of just, figuring things out. And I don't think we're dealing with Warner Brothers here by any means. But I think we need to give Bob a little bit more opportunity just to kind of, see what the plan is. And if it doesn't work, obviously make adjustments. But I think, again, 26 years doesn't just get you, where he's in his position now. So I think we'll be fine.
I'm also more in the vein of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. And to me,
here's the thing, though. Go ahead, boss. My bad, Brandon.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it was Occam's Truth and Wisdom said, "What if the older way is much better and profitable?" Here's the thing. Oftentimes people think, "Oh, it's not broke, don't fix it," but what you could be doing is leaving a lot of money on the table. And people thought, what's his name? Tim Cook. He doesn't have as much pizzazz. He's not as excited. People aren't as excited to see him as they were with what's his name? Dude that died from cancer. You can't remember his name now. The Apple dude. Steve Jobs. People say, "Oh, he's not Steve Jobs," blah, blah, blah. But guess what? When Steve Jobs was running Apple, Steve Jobs had Apple at like, I believe it was a $600 or $700 million company. Tim Cook today has taken Apple to a $2 trillion company. So just because something is working and it's profitable doesn't mean that it can't be better. So this guy may be saying, okay, well, it's a great company. It's making good money, but we can make it better. We can make it bigger and we can make it better. And I'm all about that. I mean, somebody that comes from the merchandising side, let's not forget that what's his name? George Lucas, dude is a basically as rich as he is, because when they came out with the first Star Wars, people didn't even understand merchandising. He came in and said, "Oh, I'll take less money. I just want the merchandising." They were like, "Merchandise? Sure, you can have that." Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, you have Star Wars, action figures, Star Wars underwear, Star Wars Slurpee cups at 7-Eleven. I mean, they had all this stuff, and that was all his. And so, the guy's coming from an area that he understands, merchandising and marketing and advertising, and he wants to bring all that in, and I think in a very different way than Iger has done in the past. And I just think it's just a matter of time. I mean, look at Google. Google's one of the largest, most profitable companies in the world, and they don't sell anything really. I mean, not on the consumer side. All that stuff is given away free. They make all their money off advertising. It's the same thing with Facebook. They make their money off of advertising. So if this guy's coming in talking about changing the way they do advertising, changing the way they do marketing, changing the way they do merchandising, I say give it a shot and see what happens. And I just think because something is working doesn't mean that it can't work better.
I'm going to be honest with both of y'all. I'm going to be brutally honest. Y'all made some good points. I made some good points. I'm not gonna lie, because I was pissed. I was pissed. Like I'm just like, don't mess up my Marvel movies, because I'm thinking this was going to be like the new Ike Perlmutter
with Kevin Feige and messing up everything.
Because I mean, even though he wasn't over Disney, he was the CEO of Marvel at the time. Phase 1 of MCU was great. To be honest with you, in hindsight, phase 2 of MCU kind of sucked, with Iron Man 2, 3, Thor: The Dark World. The Avengers Age of Ultron was the worst, and that was because of him. I mean, he was also saying that he wanted to replace Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle, and he was like, nobody would tell the difference because black people all look the same or something stupid. It was ridiculous. And so when I initially heard this, I'm thinking this is going to be the new Ike Perlmutter. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cause Kevin Feige to quit, but you guys have changed my mind. And so, I think I'm going to take a little chill pill. And so thank you for making my evening, a lot better. So I do appreciate that.
And you were also mentioning not having the executives in charge of the creative. Kevin Feige is an executive that is in charge of the creative. He is an executive. He is the executive. He is the executive in charge of Marvel Studios.
Yeah, but he is much more of a creative, in my opinion, than
he's a creative that happens to be an executive.
Right. Yeah. He is much more creative, in my opinion. I ain't met the man and interviewed him, or whatever. But I mean, that's just my opinion, though.
Right, but if they're simply saying, if the new guy's simply saying, go find me 2 or 3 more Kevin Feiges, that's what we need. We need the creatives that are also great executives. Go find. I mean, it's not like there's not a lot of them out there. Don't get me wrong. Creatives are creatives for a reason, and then you have business people that are business people for a reason. So when you find that combination of the two, it is a special thing. So he may be saying, go scour the universe and find me 2 or 3 more Kevin Feiges and bring them home, and let them run different parts of different parts of Disney. And you already have Kevin Feige with his Marvel Studios, and maybe they want somebody else that's in charge of the Disney specific properties like the Jungle Book and the Mickey Mouse movies and all the other stuff. And and then maybe you want someone else, because I know Disney said they're coming out with their more adult themed movies. I forgot the name of the studio they're supposed to be, that they're going to call it, but it's a more very much more of a 18, 21. It's not like adult movies, but like stuff that's designed specifically for adults and not for children in any way, shape, or form. And so I think when you bring people in that are both creatives and executives, you create this really magical situation like Kevin Feige has done with Marvel.
I got you. Well, guys, let's go ahead and thank you for that, Larry. And let's go ahead and move on to the final. It's 2 topics, but I'm gonna go ahead and combine them into one because they kind of are the same thing. And this is quite funny to me, to be honest with you. And I'm quite happy because I never really supported this anyway. But about a cancellation, baby, cancel culture. Everybody canceling everybody, man. Everybody is racist and homophobic and transphobic and hateful and evil. And it's I couldn't keep a straight face. But they're canceling everything, man. The Golden Globes has been canceled on NBC, and I got the report right here, and this will be the final topic of the day. It says NBC will not air the Golden Globes in 2022 due to ongoing Hollywood Foreign Press Association controversy. What type of controversy are we talking about? Well, let's see. NBC will not air the Golden Globes in 2022, the network said in a statement on Monday morning. This means the Hollywood Foreign Press Association will now have to decide how or if it will move forward next year without its broadcast partner, or more swiftly enact changes demanded by industry leaders regarding the organization's membership and processes. And so just real quick, what this is saying is like the difference between the Academy and the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The Academy is basically of thousands of members in Hollywood that actually works on the movie. So it's the actors, the actresses, the directors, the writers, the producers, the financiers, all those people that actually have their hand in the filmmaking process. Sometime I heard it was 5,000, 7,000, up to 10,000 people in the Academy. The Hollywood Foreign Press are, I think, 80 something members. So you got thousands versus 80 something members that live in LA but work for foreign Hollywood outlets. Now, in my opinion, the Oscars is more important because it actually does measure talent. The Golden Globes is just a popularity contest. That's just my assessment. You know, the Oscars is more of a boring show, but the Golden Globes is more fun, you know, because everybody gets drunk and goes up on stage and has a bunch of funny conversations and stuff like that. And so I never take the Golden Globes seriously. But I have this right here. We continue to believe that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is committed to meaningful reform, NBC said in a statement. However, change of this magnitude takes time and work, and we feel strongly that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association needs to take time to do it right. As such, NBC will not air the 2020 Golden Globes, assuming the organization executes on its plan. We are hopeful we'll be in a position and air the show in January 2023. Now, the controversy basically is out of these 83 members, they haven't had a black member in their association in the past 19, 20 years. And it could be even longer than that, but
I think they said since 2002 or something like that.
Yeah. They haven't had a black member. Also, that there has been films that have come out in the past few decades that critics have panned, saying that the movie sucked. However, they still nominated some films for Best Picture and all that stuff because they just wanted the talent to show up on screen just so they can get ratings and things like that. And apparently they're super duper racist as well, to the point to where Tom Cruise was like, man, F this, you know, I'm sending mine back. You know, you can return my Golden Globes, you know, to the you know, back, because you know, I don't want them anymore, you know. And so I'm gonna pull this up as well. The Hollywood Foreign Press, which hands out Golden Globes awards, has been under fire for months following an initial expose by the Los Angeles Times about both the small insular organization's questionable financial practices, so they're doing weird stuff with the money, as well as paltry record of diversity and representation, including an entire lack of black membership. Last week, the group released framework for reform that includes measures to increase the number of people of color in its ranks. The plan, which was approved on Thursday, also includes new restrictions on gifts that the members could receive and payments for work on their committees. That's the wrong little thing right there. And just real quick from Ava DuVernay, I have that report. In response, filmmaker Ava DuVernay praises Cruz's actions on Twitter that it's time that Tom Cruise sent the Golden Globes for Jerry Maguire, Magnolia, and Born on the 4th of July in an extra box to the reception desk of the Hollywood Foreign Press to stand against their sexist, homophobic, and racist practices of exclusion, harassment, and bias. The Hollywood Foreign Press broader practices from demanding special treatment and lavish perks to sexist, homophobic, and racially insensitive questions at press events have come under criticism as well. In April, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association also expelled former President Phil Burke amid another firestorm of criticism after Burke sent an email to members in which he called Black Lives Matter a racist hate movement and alleged that co-founder Patricia Cullors was a self-proclaimed trained Marxist. This is crazy. So basically because there's no diversity, they're playing with the money, nominating films that they already paying just for ratings and making hateful, racist, homophobic comments. Everybody's like, F the Golden Globes. I don't want to have nothing to do with none of them. So Elliot, I'm coming to you. Last topic of the day. How are you feeling about all this? NBC canceling the Golden Globes. How you feel about the Golden Globes? Ava DuVernay's comments and Tom Cruise mailing all of his Golden Globes back. How you feeling?
It's, I mean, kudos to Hollywood making the change and stepping up. Tom Cruise giving the awards, Ava speaking her peace of mind, and NBC stepping up and canceling the awards. My only thing, I hate to be the guy, but my only thing is you know, why now? You know, hasn't like you just mentioned, it's been going on since 2002. So I guess, you know, it's been fine for all these years, but all of it, you know, and again, I applaud them for finally making that change, but it just makes me wonder. It's just like, this has been going on. This just speaks to Hollywood in general, you know, rather it be not to get too deep into the Hollywood stuff, but Harvey Weinstein and all the stuff that's been going on, and you know, James Franco, everything was fine for a while until that one person spoke up. So it's just, again, I applaud everyone for finally stepping up and making the change, but it's a long time overdue. So I guess you gotta take it where you can get it. It's finally been you know, people are paying attention to it, but again, this always makes you wonder. Like,
right on that.
This long now.
Yeah. But before I come to you, Larry, let me just go ahead and grab the super chat real quick from Infinite Science that hit the lotto. I'll go ahead and play this one for you. Infinite Science for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Larry, how you feeling about all this, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. I haven't watched the Golden Globes and I can't remember the last time I watched the Golden Globes. I mean, outside of watching like that opener with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, I can't remember the last time I watched it because it's just it doesn't really interest me all that much. I mean, so I watched the Oscars a little bit, but so much of it has really become just like this big celebratory, self-celebratory, just Hollywood masturbatorial, session. It's like they're just up there jacking each other off. It's like I just can't really do it anymore. It's just like they're and some of the stuff that I see with some of these films, they're just like at some point they need to add an element to the Oscars that really helps resonate with the fans. And I mean, they need to sort of merge sort of an Oscars People's Choice Awards sort of thing. And they need to, and the Golden Globes was not that, they're just, I mean, some of the stuff you would see that they would nominate, you were like, who watches this crap? Who watches this movie? I mean, I don't know. I didn't like it. I'm glad to see that they're getting taken down. I mean, people call it cancel culture. It's not cancel culture. It's consequence culture. When you live in a diverse world, you're supposed to represent, a global film, global film critics in the global film industry. And, and you don't have any people of color in your ranks, and you haven't had any since 2002. And you're sexist and you're racist and you're biased. It's just, you're making all these financial demands for people to get their shine. I mean, you need to be taken down. And to be honest with you, I know that NBC and other folks are talking about maybe they'll give them time to implement changes. I think at some point they don't need to make changes. There are certain organizations that should be fixed and reformed, and there's other ones that should be replaced. And this one, I think, is something that should just simply be replaced. Yeah. And there are other film critic organizations out there that could fill this role. And I would much rather see somebody new come in and fill this role instead of them just trying to fix this and not really ever have it fixed. I don't want to wait 15 or 20 years for them to say, oh, we're still working on it. We added 2 black people in here. We're working on it. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them and let somebody else take over. Right
on. I hear you, my brother. I hear you. They just said that the trailer just dropped. I don't see it. I feel bad because I don't see it on YouTube. But I guess we can all react to it on our own respective channels, and it is getting quite late, So guys, I have to change the thumbnail and the title for this because there was no Snake Eyes trailer. The funny thing is, I don't know if I told you, Elliot, I thought the trailer was going to drop at 7 p.m. CST.
I thought it was going to drop when the award, like the first thing of the awards, or like the Super Bowl, like the first commercial for the MTV Awards. But I guess not. Yeah, it's going to close out the show.
My goal was, okay, I can react to the trailer on my own, upload it, and then have it ready by the show at 7:30. But when 7 o'clock came, I kept hitting refresh. I looked it up on IG, and and then I was always starts later, and I was like, damn, so it kind of just messed my flow up. But that's okay. But ladies and gentlemen in chat, we got 148 people. Thank you so much. If you can just hit the thumbs up button real quick before we
from across the pond, sending that good money.
Oh my
that
goodness!
Good British money.
There you go. Hold on. Yes, it is. Just real quick. Hold on. Here we go.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a.
Oh, she said the Randy Watson meme. Which one is that? The Randy. I don't got that one. I'm sorry. I will get it for you, Strictly Starlight. But thank you so much coming all the way from the UK. Thank you for the super chat.
£4.99. That's like $300.
It's on Paramount's YouTube channel. Well, I'll react to it later on tonight. These gentlemen are tired. I'm pretty sure they got stuff to do, and so I do apologize, guys, for my not being completely organized. But that will
for Paramount not dropping their trailer on
Paramount
time.
dropping the ball with the Emily Blunt. How this?
Yeah. But guys, I want to thank you. That will conclude number 16 for the Movie News Roundup show. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe to everybody. And Larry, I'm gonna come to you first, sir. What are your final words for the day, and what do you have going on your channel?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, people, I know the CDC is saying that if you're fully vaccinated, that you can go around and not be masked up wherever you feel like. I will just simply say, protect yourself first and foremost, because we are nowhere near herd immunity. We are less than, there's like, last time I looked, I think yesterday, it was only like 35 to close to 36% of our population that's fully vaccinated. So we are nowhere near herd immunity. So please continue to mask up wherever you are so that you don't get sick, that you don't give it to someone else who may not be vaccinated, or even worse, that you don't end up with some breakthrough, because you end up being exposed to a variant. I mean, what's his name? Bill Maher has had to cancel a couple of his shows just this last week because he was one of those people that was a breakthrough, and he ended up getting sick from COVID because, he just got it. I imagine he probably figured, I got vaccinated, I'm safe, and he's running around without a mask, and he got it. So it can't happen. It is happening, and so just be careful. That's all.
Hold on, before you go on, I just want to say something about the vaccine. Now, if you're one of those people, this damn trailer still ain't up. That's what OneTakeBigDog said. Now, if you're one of those people that's not gonna get vaccinated, that's your prerogative. But at least still practice social distancing and mask up, and don't just go out all willy-nilly. I mask up everywhere I go, and I stay my butt at home. I don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing my part. So at least just do that. I'm sorry, Larry. Right. Go ahead with what's going on in your channel.
No, that's exactly right. If you're not gonna get vaccinated, at least do your part as an American citizen or as a global citizen, and stay away from other people, because you could spread the virus, and you could get sick and die, or get sick and end up in the hospital, and you end up costing our healthcare workers their time and energy taking care of you when you could have been safe, but you chose not to be. So mask up. Besides that, man, my channel, I'm gonna keep pushing through, keep doing my tech. I just pushed out a haul video today, a couple hours ago. I have some more stuff that I'm gonna be reviewing this coming week, as I always do. And so
there you go.
I might need to review that pocket knife that you got.
Yeah, I got it. I cut myself too, so it's pretty sharp. I cut myself right before the show.
Be careful with those things; they will bite you.
Where is it? It's right here in my I got it right here, and I cut myself. So be careful. Elliot, what are your final words, sir, and what do you have going on your channel?
Yeah, man. No, as always, Brandon, Larry, as well as Lamont earlier, man, it's always a pleasure speaking with you gentlemen on all different topics. So I always appreciate being on, man. And thank you to all the great people in the chat, showing some love to Brandon tonight. So yeah, man, as far as like content on the channel tonight, literally in a couple minutes, for all my Mayor of Easttown people out there, we got episode 5 tonight. And in the last week or so, as you can see on the screen now, the Underground Railroad, Barry Jenkins TV show, Love, Death, and Robots Volume 2, The Woman in the Window, Those Who Wish Me Dead, as well as Spiral and a couple other stuff we reviewed this past week. So it was a pretty fun and busy week, but I love it. Love having the conversations with you all. And again, Brandon, Larry, Lamont, and everyone in the chat. It was an awesome night tonight, guys.
Your channel's growing quick too, man. When you first came on the show, I think the first show you did, you actually hit 11,000 during the live stream, and you're about to hit 13,000 in a few minutes.
Yeah, man, I'm appreciating all the love and support out there from the wonderful people.
Yeah, and OneTakeBigDog, I'm real sorry, man, that you lost your cousin today, man.
Oh man.
I'm really sorry, man. My condolences to you, my brother. And my sympathies and Zilla-Treese is saying condolences. So I'm sorry about that. I really am. I'll hit you up. We're talking about I'm drawing blood. I was gonna say Elliot be on it. I need to get some of his Instagram tips, because my IG sucks. His is fire. and like his organizational skills, he be putting the reviews out there early. It's always a premiere, it's scheduled, what time is dropping. My stuff just be random. So subscribe to Elliot and Larry. Real quick on my channel, yesterday I recorded 6 reviews. I'm so far behind, and I'm tired because I got to chop all these 13 topics up, or 12. I had to do Monster twice, because the first time I did it, I jacked up the audio, and I was so pissed. I also recorded my review for Army of the Dead. Those Who Wish Me Dead. Wrath of Man, I finally got to. I recorded that yesterday. Jupiter's Legacy, I recorded that review. And also I recorded the review for that documentary I was telling you about, Game Kings, the definition of game. And also I got my copy of Buck Breaking right here. I haven't seen it yet, but that review, everything I just mentioned, everything will be up at the latest by Friday. That's my goal. Hopefully before that, but
nice.
You know, so but guys, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the show. Thank you again. You can follow myself, Larry, and Elliot on social media. Our handles are up on the screen. Also, everyone's links are down in the description box below. And like always, you can always, I thought I had it ready. You can always head over to my channel tab and you will see the whole family right there that continues to grow. But again, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. That's Elliot and Larry. And that's just our opinion. Peace out. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.